Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome back to this new episode of the User Hectic Podcast with me, your host, Justin Freeburn. This week we have the hilarious Claire Corrigan. Claire's been making a name for herself in the scene, been gigging all over the place. You can catch her anywhere. We'll plug a lot of the dates in it. Claire also runs the Green Room in Dalys Bar in Omagh. It's usually once a month. Anyway, let's get fucking stuck into it. Play a fucking intro.
Like I should have brought my inhaler for this.
Justin's got one.
Actually, I'm asthmatic as fuck. As if I don't have enough wrong in my life, fuck's sake.
What inhaler do you take? The blue one, brown one, or the fluty form?
What the fuck's a fluty
I know, the fluty form's amazing.
Is that a form for Protestants or like?
It's for the gays. It's fruity form.
Is that just poppers or?
It's actually really class, but it's funny because.
Is that the one with the wee ball or rattles in it, or like?
No, it tells you how many puffs you've got left.
Like a vape?
Well,
Are you sure it's not a vape?
So
She's like, I don't. You don't even have asthma. You just smoke.
It's like it's not a fucking inhaler at all. Fuck. Is it any wonder I'm getting worse? Does vapes tell you how many vapes you got or how many puffs you got left?
No, this one doesn't.
No,
You're just
but
making
your
that up,
fucking,
Justin,
your
are
big
you?
fucking computer one does, the big like, one that looks like it could be in a fucking car engine. Yeah.
Oh, is that the one
No,
you have to
it
like
tells you how
plug in?
many
To...
puffs you've took, but not
As
how
if you
many
need to know
you've
that. Oh, thank God! I'm like
I know.
steps on a fucking Apple Watch, you know. Like,
How many puffs did you do today?
oh my
It's
God!
like a competition, like.
Your mate's like, oh, I've hit 10,000 steps, and then you're like, that's not.
I should have been filming there.
Oh, you're not filming?
No.
Oh, fuck it, we're fucking
Fuck's
starting
sake,
into
Chico.
it. You know what?
Okay.
The first 5 minutes of it, or first fucking minute and a half, it's just going to be black.
You're recording sound
Yeah, so we're right into it now. So.
straight into the inhaler. So, children, take your inhalers.
Fuck.
Every single time I have to go to the asthma clinic, they're like, "So are you taking your inhalers?" I'm like, yeah. And then they listen to my chest and they're like, "Claire, you're not fucking taking your inhalers."
You sound like a fucking maraca.
I have an inhaler in the car, one on the kitchen windowsill, one on the bedroom, bedside locker, and one in my bag, and I never take them. And the doctor's like, leave them everywhere you will. I'm like, yeah, I will. And I have, and I do, and they're there, but I just won't fucking take them.
Jesus, you know, like we've started like playing football every week, and say every week, it's been the most sporadic thing ever. And literally every single time I like go to do it, I'm like sitting in the corner. I'm like afraid any of the comedians will see me and like mention it. I'm like fucking in the corner, like taking it like that, like you know when you're like hiding fakes from your ma, like sort of. But yeah, no, it's a weird thing. I have to take the blue one and the brown one.
I used to have to do that. I used to have to take the blue
Have
one
we
and the
fucking
brown
infant
one.
lungs, like.
But then they've changed the brown one to a fluty form. And I don't know why I find it so much. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to fucking take it, but I don't. It's a wee small one. And it's got pink and orange on it.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about. I've seen that. My wee cousin takes that one. Yeah.
And it's fucking brilliant because it completely opens you up. Do I take it? No. Should I take it? Yes. Am I telling everyone else
it's
how
not
amazing
poppers
it
you're
is?
talking, it just opens you up. So. Claire's like, these inhalers are fucking, they're great. So.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I know, but anyway, what's the crack with you? Anyway, I haven't seen you since we did Omagh, and before that, I hadn't seen you since like around this time we first started.
Started what? What did we start?
Fucking riots.
We started a rap club.
Oh, I did. We're a band.
Started the riots.
Yeah. We all just play fucking different kinds of guitars, apparently. But yeah, no. Like
I'd love to play guitar. Do you play guitar?
No.
I'd love to be able to just. Do you not play?
I fucking shit at it.
I was like, look at the amount of fucking guitars he has.
Three
and I was like,
Nirvana
I don't
songs.
play. That's like me with a fucking drum kit in the house. I used to play drums.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love the drums.
Do you play drums?
No, but I love them. It's my favorite
Chico
instrument.
got
The
good
same.
rhythm, so he does. So I imagine like he would be good at it.
Yeah.
He's Portuguese as hell, by the way. If you don't know, if you.
I was wondering what was wrong with you there. I'm only joking. No, I bought a drum kit last Christmas for the wee cutty.
Right.
But like really, I kind of bought it for myself, Jack, in a
Oh,
way.
yeah, it's one of those presents.
One of them ones. I done that years ago with the brother. I bought him a skateboard. He doesn't even fucking skate. It was me, like. But she hasn't went near it, which is grand because it's kind of for me. But I haven't went near it as well. And I'm like, I go in and I do a wee bit. And I'm like,
You're like hearing her on it. You're like, you on my drum set?
touch my drum set.
You've never been on it. It's like
Step Brothers.
you never use them, and you're like, fucking they're mine, no, so you.
No, I want to be able to pick up an instrument and just instantly fucking play it. I don't want to learn. And that's
Yeah.
why I played the spoons, because spoons were just so easy.
That's the most culty thing you could have said.
Spoons.
That's the
yeah, I
most
played
like.
the spoons.
That's the most wolf
Actual
tones.
spoons.
Like,
You
like a
put-
set of spoons.
You put like 2 spoons again. You just slap them against your knee and all. You look like such a you look like such an inbred cunt in it. Like I swear to God. I'm sorry, but it's just such. It's one of those.
I was actually at the Sligo Fla way back a few years ago, and it was 2 weeks before I was in Drumshambo. They do like another weekend of sort of fla.
Right.
The Joe Mooney School of Music. It's all just Caileys and country or Irish trad music. And it was there where I learned it. There's one fella taught me how to play the spoons. 2 weeks later I went to the Sligo Fla, the All Ireland Fla, and was in Sligo. See, there's me catching my breath with fucking asthma. Like, should have taken that fucking flutie for him. But I was playing away, right? And
Poppers over there. If you will.
I was playing away for about 3 or 4 days, just flat out. And whenever I got home, because you're camping out, you're not really properly washing. I know it's disgusting, but you're like baby wiping yourself. And got home then, got a shower, and there's a mirror outside my shower. And my knee from there to there was covered in fucking bruises. And I was racking my fucking head thinking, did I get fucking raped? Did I get beat up or something? Because you're drunk the whole time. Like, it's just a
Imagine
fucking
the
session.
worst thing happens in the country is you get drunk or like you get spiked and someone teaches you how to play the spoons.
Do you want to learn how to spoon?
I'll be spooning
But I
you,
was
mate, just
racking my
cut
head
you.
because I was even drinking fucking powers, and like I don't drink, like who touches that shit? Like, but racked my head for a week. Where the fuck did this bruising come? And it wasn't sore. And then like a week later I was playing the spoons. I was like, oh yeah, fucking flat out, a bruise. It was black, like it was mental. But yeah, it was one
That's
of
the
them
most
when we trying to
hectic.
be there, I suppose.
You're trying to fit in with the crowd playing the spoons. Like,
But I
I'm
actually
in with
met
the
a wee
instrument guys now.
I met a wee. I did. I got to actually be in the session a year later. Drumshambo again. Actually, I was in a circle. So whenever you
You're
go into the
resident
bar,
there, like.
yeah, we go down every year. One of the bars, and you go in. There's 2 doors, and I went in this first door, and the circle, the Keeley circle, was just the trad, whatever the fuck you call it. There's a name to it. I can't. Anyway, fuck it'll come to me. I'm so bad with fucking shit like that.
Oh,
But all the players were just around the whole bar, like all around. So I was like, fucking, I'm going to jump in here. And I did. I jumped in and started playing the spoons. And people kept coming in and videoing it because I thought it was the biggest circle. I was like, this is cool. I'm on everyone's video. It wasn't until about 3 hours later, whenever we all stopped, Brendan Gleeson was in the fucking circle.
Oh, was it?
He was playing something. Me and him competing, and I didn't realise it. But he was over on that side. But I didn't see him because
Yeah.
there was that many of us, and people kept coming in and taking videos, and that's why they were taking videos, because it was him. So at the end, I went up and was chatting to him, but he's there every year as well because he
That's
lives
wild.
down there.
Brenton Gleeson, holy shit. All I can
Yeah.
imagine is like you having like you know when people have like a drum off or a dance off.
Yeah.
You're like there with the spoons, like
Spoon
your
off.
turn to you.
I got a
brother.
wee photograph. I worked with Brendan Grace and my sister, so she came in and I was like, oh, Brendan Gleeson's over there. But she was that drunk. She thought I meant Brendan Grace. So she kept going up to him, like we're all finished this stage, so we're kind of all mingling, and she's like, my sister works with you. My sister's over there, my sister works with you. But he was drunk too, so they're like, blah, 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 like just speaking fucking different language to each other. So he was like, bring her over. So Danielle was like, here, Brendan Grace wants to see you. So I got confused as well. I was like, oh, Brendan Grace is here. So I went over to meet Brendan Grace, like, hey Brendan, like, what are you fucking doing here? It was actually Brendan Gleeson, and then he's like, hello, and Danielle was like, you used to work together, and we both looked at each other like, no, but like, we'll take a fucking photograph together. Like, I was probably had to be there as well. So
I thought I'd seen do you know, have you ever watched, I was gonna say, have you ever watched Dairy Girls? I'm assuming you have.
sounds familiar. Yeah,
Yeah. You know the grand out of it.
yeah.
Put
The
50p in Egypt. You know that guy.
I love him.
Forget his name. I seen him in Cafe Nero in Belfast one time.
No way. Did you go up to him? Were you allowed to go up to him?
That's why I was like, like he looks like he'd spark you out. Like, so I was like, I can imagine him just like knocking.
I was
the
never in the raw.
Exactly. He literally like, he like scared the shit. Like, way taller than you would think. Like,
Yeah.
and when you watch the show, he looks maybe like 5'10", 5'11". He's about 6'3".
But that was the same as Brendan Gleeson. He was humongous,
Oh really?
like
yeah.
so tall. I
You always
didn't
say
expect
that, you
him
know,
to be
when,
that tall.
when
Like,
you meet like celebrities or whatever, they're always smaller in person.
yeah.
Nope, it's
like
a fucking
Kevin Hart's
lie.
really small, isn't he?
He's not that tall. He's probably about average height, you know. Toxic masculinity coming out.
I think, like, for him to have all them security guards around him, would you
Oh,
not
yeah.
be like, here, actually, go and don't, because you're making me look smaller than I actually
Yeah.
am, because they're obviously
They're all
naturally.
like big, massive
Yeah,
black
yeah,
guys. as
and
well,
him-
so- yeah, he's
like, I
like,
would be paranoid about that. Like,
yeah.
here.
He's obviously very secure in himself.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's kind of like skinny girls purposely run about with fat girls, because then it makes them look smaller.
Alright.
Do you know what I mean? Not that I do that. I think no.
No. That's why I run about wanting funny people.
Oh,
That's why I have no friends.
Nobody can make me look better. But yeah, no. And I actually, we were talking about the asthma clinic. Every time I go to the asthma clinic, you know where they would like take your shoes off and measure you. Do you ever get that to measure your height? No. I have a pedo.
Oh yeah, well, was they take your shoes off? What are they going to do here? Like, where's
Take
the
your
story
shoes off,
going?
just rubbing my feet. Like, so is it hard to breathe?
Reflexology for your breath.
You know, you massage this bit here. You know, you can breathe better. But no, it was like
Shut up, really? No,
I
it
remember-
probably is actually.
The last time I went to the asthma clinic, I got measured, and I was like single at the time. Measured the height, 6 foot, straight on the Tinder bio. I was like, you
Didn't even get out the door and
I
fucking
was
update that
perfect.
shit.
I was like waiting on that for like months. I was like,
why
fucking
is that a thing?
I don't know. I
Well,
think,
actually, okay, no, maybe.
would you go for a shorter guy?
It probably depends. It depends.
Why is that a
So-
thing? Oh, 5'6".
No, I actually did meet a Tinder fella, and his Tinder photographs were dead on. Like, he was actually, this pissed me off. Are you bald?
Buzzcut.
Okay, so
We were discussing this. Like even Kieran, Pete, and Sean were talking about it in their podcast. I took my hat off. We went on a night out.
you
a
have
few
your
weeks
hat
ago.
off.
Like I took my hat off. Like the bullied me into a corner, like, and just like Pete was pushing me and all, and I was like, bro, alright, okay, and I took it off, and they were
Are
like,
you ginger?
yeah. No, I mean, I'm full blown afro, like full fucking like Rick James dreadlocks under here, but no, like I took it off, and they were like, he has a hairline, no, what the fuck, and then I got too drunk and couldn't remember it, so I was like, yes, thank fuck.
So you have hair.
Yeah.
So why do you cover it up all the time?
I don't know. I've always just wore hats, like from day one.
Yeah,
like
that's
literally,
true.
how long have you known me? And I've always just worn hats. Even when my
Yeah.
hair was like, I used to have like a top knot as a wanker, like, and it was.
What's a top knot?
Like, you shave the back and sides, but keep the top.
Oh,
long.
like a saucepan hair?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. But I used to like braid it and like
Fuck off.
like dreadlock it and all.
Oh,
and,
okay, okay. I thought you just meant like a wee plait.
I did, yeah. Like
The
it
dreadlock's
literally-
a whole different
There was
thing.
like 2 braids that went back here, and then it came down the
Oh.
back. Yeah, it was wild. Like,
Oh, you actually were being serious?
yeah, so I mean, like, I'm very comfortable in myself, except for that height thing.
For
But-
badness, I was actually there. I've got a class hat. I love wearing beanie hats.
Yeah.
But I have one. I actually got it because what annoys me because of my hair, it gets all like staticky.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I actually have a hat that's got a hole in it, and I can pull the ponytail out, and then I'm like, this is class, and it gets so much attention. Obviously, as a comedian, I fucking love it. But anyway, go back to the Tinder story. I met the fella,
Oh yes.
and in his photographs, he's wearing a hat. He was wearing helmets. He was always, the whole head was always covered. So, right, straight out, I never even thought. Right,
Yeah.
met up with him, and he made it to the bar first. So I came in a different door because I used to work in the bar, so I knew where to come in, so
Yeah.
I could see him before he sees me. And I'm standing behind him, and I messed because I don't see him anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Are you here?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm sitting at the bar wearing whatever it was, like blue." And there's only one fella sitting at the bar with blue, and he's bald. And I'm thinking, straight away, I'm like, oh, fuck. I said, you know what? I'm not a bitch. At this stage, it was still early days in the Tinder, so you weren't a bitch.
Oh,
Whereas
so this
now,
was
if
like
I done
when-
it, I'd be like, sorry, I
When
can't
Tinder
make it.
was like
Yeah.
Tinder was like fully like everyone was just riding. It wasn't like women didn't even have like standards back then on Tinder. It was just like everyone was
See,
riding
no,
everyone.
that wasn't. Like,
This was
I
when
don't.
fingering was a thing. So
Wait, you can get fingered on Tinder?
that's what I mean.
What are
Tinder's
you
more
looking
like
for? Just the finger, that's it.
I feel like Tinder's more niche now. Like people are looking for like it's more like them opposite like people
Burnt
will, like
fingers, sorry.
those apps where like you will call someone to put up a shelf. I
Oh.
feel like that's more like what Tinder is now.
What was
Like,
it? Handyman, but like
Yeah.
finger man? I don't know.
I need someone to come in and give me this rim job at
I need
6.
someone to come and fuck's sake.
And I'll have to fucking have to put this table together from IKEA after. So
Oh fuck. But
yeah.
anyway, so yeah, he was bald. I was like, fucking I'll go in and chat to him.
It wasn't Pete, was it?
But I got myself Pete. Yeah, Pete. Fuck, Pete's probably gonna watch this and be like, what's wrong with bald people?
Pete's
Not my type, okay? Some
Half
colleagues
obsessed
like
with
it.
it.
I don't, right? Yeah, right enough, he uses it. So I got myself into the wee alcove and sat then looking because then I could see him from side. I know I'm such a
Oh,
a
you went fully
girl's,
like fucking psycho on him. You
No,
were
no, I was like, okay, I'll suss him out from the front. I was like, you know what? I'll
see
give him
him
the
catch
benefit of the
pick his
doubt.
nose or something.
I
Like.
can always tell him to put on his hat, like, you know. So I texted him, I was like, I'm in the alcove, come over to the right or whatever. And he jumped off the stool, like he had a jump off the stool.
Oh,
He was excited.
He was 5 foot.
you know the Tory Lanez video where he stands up in the chair and he's the same height.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's kind of what it was. It was like, how did you get up on that stool in the first place?
Oh, is that a neck for you whenever you look over at a guy in a stool and his legs are swinging like that? You know, like,
Like, I have a child, and it was just like, I'm on a date with my.
You know, wee thing you put in the high chair, like the wee table.
But whenever he came over, I was actually wearing. That's another thing. I'd always wear like chunky heely shoes, but they're boots.
Oh right.
So
yeah,
he came over, and the first thing he done was, "Oh, let me look what you're wearing," and I was just like, "It doesn't matter what I'm wearing because we're not fucking going anywhere." So we was sitting chatting away anyway, and then he mentioned that I says, "Oh, what?" I didn't actually mention. I said he was the one who brought it up.
Yeah.
I just let on. I didn't like if I don't talk about it, it doesn't exist. You know, kind of way. Typical fucking Irish family. But
Just stay sitting down the whole time.
yeah, that's what it was. And then I had to leave. I didn't have to leave, but I made myself leave. Like, it's like, oh, I've got this event at 7:00, which I did, but I wasn't going to go originally.
Yeah.
And I was like, then the alarm went off on the phone. I was like, oh,
You were
look, I've
playing the
got
spoons
this.
with Brenton Gleeson.
That's what it was. Yeah, Brendan Gleeson was waiting for me. He's like, hey, where are you with your spoons? I'm like, sorry.
Full head of hair,
Brought the
6 foot.
forks. But he was walking me out, and I was literally like looking down at him, and he actually says to me like, "Fun, do you like what about a kiss?" And I'm just like, didn't bring my knee pads with me today. Sorry. Like, no, it's just so awkward. Like, especially when you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
If he had have said to me, "Here, I'm 5 foot," then I wouldn't have went. But like, but like to not.
toxic.
And then he was also fucking bald, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck's
Oh
sake.
god. So he like, if he at least was like, you know, like Jack McGee's a wee bit shorter, but he's like handsome as fuck. You know, like he's got the good
Yes.
hair and the good beard.
Exactly,
And all, you know,
he's got
like,
the beard. Like,
yeah. So that's what I mean. You know, like if he
and
was
he plays an instrument. Like,
exactly.
at least
Yeah.
he's got something going for himself.
Him playing the Rugrats theme tune, you've got the spoons going. You know what I mean?
Well, there was something else about this fella. I think he had the same name. He had the same name as. I don't know. There was something about the. Oh fuck! Was there a sheep that was cloned?
Oh, right. This is going to be really niche, isn't it?
This-
Yeah. No, there was a sheep that was cloned in like
What
the
was the name
90s or
of
something.
that?
Yeah. I can't remember. Oh, fucking Bob or something. But wait there, I'm actually.
I think he had a name something like Johnny Bond or something like that there, or something about
Yeah.
James. Was his name James Bond or Jimmy Bond? And then also the sheep that was cloned, I think, was also something about a Bond. I don't know. There was a lot of. That's all I remember from the date is something about Bond and a sheep being cloned.
Well, the sheep that was cloned was
Probably a
called.
whole different name.
It was called Dolly. So-
It was a Dolly Bond.
Close enough. Dolly Gleeson.
Fucking Brendan's hair again. Looking for his spoons.
Yeah.
I actually got spoons. Yeah, so down in Sligo, I got chatting to a wee old man from Strabane.
Right. Is that your type then? That's
And
like the...
I just seem to attract these older men. But he...
That's such a culty girl thing to do. Not, like, I'm not saying that you're full on culty girl, but like that is such like a country girl thing to do. Where like if you go on a night out, the first person you'll be like gravitate towards
Oh.
is just old men.
No, it's not that I gravitate towards them. They gravitate towards me.
Suppose, yeah.
And I actually have the best night's crack sitting at the bar with old men singing rebel songs, talking about Irish history and speaking Irish by the end of the night. Every time. And is it any fucking wonder why I'm single? It's like, Claire, why do you never pull? I'm like, well, there was this old man, right? And he was playing spoons.
I know.
But even there one night I was out in Killarney, there's a bar down there called the Grand. It's like my local whenever I'm down there.
Right.
Bit of a plug there for the Grand. And one night I went in, so I would know the doormen and all because
Oh,
I've
yeah.
worked and all down there, so they knew me. And I came in and sitting at the bar, there was younger lads here, and I was like, how's it going? You know, trying to get your attention. Like, I'm on my own here, talk to me. But then there's an old man
Setting your
here.
drink aside to get spiked. You're like, open
Spike
invitation.
away, thank you. I'll take whatever's going at these days. I'm not that desperate.
Free drugs.
But there's a wee old man here. So they eventually do start chatting to me, but because they picked up the accent from the north,
Oh, yeah.
then they're all like, oh, sometimes they can be cunts, like they're not educated down there. So then I started telling them about their Irish history, and they're like, oh, you're not from here, blah blah. And I was like, all right, name one of the fucking signatories, and none of them could. There was like 4 or 5 of them. And I was like, aye, so how can you not call me Irish? So I started having this. It's probably another reason why I'm single, because I'm just having this heated debate.
Very
But this-
sectarian. That's
It's not sectarian. I'm sticking up for who I am.
fair enough. That's a
Like,
good
how
way
can
to
you
put
be sectarian there? Like, what?
it. Yeah, I suppose.
But the wee old man heard all this, and then he started sticking up for me. He was like, oh, this girl knows what she's on about, and you should listen to her. And then by the end of the night, the lads obviously were like, yeah, fuck this Scotty. She is obviously Irish, so don't can hear them. So they fucked off. Me and him ended up chatting away about everything, and he's buying me drinks. And then at one point I went to the toilet, and he got me like a triple whatever it was I was drinking, and poured it into my pint.
Right.
So whenever I come up, it was just raw fucking Malibu, right?
Jesus Christ.
But I didn't even notice because it's just what I drink anyway. So whenever I came up, the doorman had spotted it, and he came over and he goes, just, be careful there, Claire. And I was
so
like,
that...
it's grand, I can handle myself, like,
Jesus
fuck off,
Christ.
right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the night, whenever I was trying to leave, he was like touching my leg and all. And I was like, no, like, this is an old man, like, we're chatting like 70s, like,
Oh, fucking hell.
touching
like,
my
it
leg.
all starts off innocent and real,
Yeah.
Oh, I just have a good conversation.
Just have a conversation. By the end of the night, the doorman, I was trying to leave, and they put him out. They're like, here, Claire, go you to the toilet, go on. So they let me go downstairs, put him out, and he stood outside for about half an hour waiting for me. The doorman had to walk me to my hotel next door, and he would not leave. Like, he was trying to get in the hotel, and the doorman was like, no, like, she doesn't want. So yeah, I do lead them up the garden path. But I don't mean to. It's like, hey, I'm leading you up the garden path, and here's some dog shit.
Listen, we're no victim blamers here, but
do you think that's a country thing, like?
Oh yeah, no, because it's the same thing. Like, even whenever we're out and, like, if my girlfriend's there, the first, like, because she's from, like, the other end of where you're from, she's from, like, Ards, but, like, the country end of Ards, so God love her.
Like Newton Ards.
Yeah, it's grim. Don't even start me into that. Who even wants to live there? Like, but I have to travel there. But she like, anytime we're on a night out or anything, I'll blink, or I'll go to the bar, or I'll go to the toilet or anything, and I'll come back, and there's just 4 old men just talking
Every
to her.
time.
And I'm like,
I'm the exact same.
And like, one time we were trying to get into, like, the Dirty Onion or something. I hate the name of the bars in Cathedral Quarter. And there was just these old men standing outside it, and I literally blinked, and they were just all over at her, like, just, because she has quite a country accent, so it's like they must just gravitate, they must hear that and just go, oh, someone that's down to earth, rather than hearing
yeah,
the
I think
like,
that's what it is. I think it's just
like,
up
Hollywood
for the
accent,
banter, like,
the wee fucking like, I'm from Belfast,
or
like,
I'm from Newton Ards.
Yeah. Fucking give me fucking
I actually mentioned
shivers.
that on my own podcast. I was telling, who was I?
We'll
my
plug
friend
it at the
Owen,
end, don't worry.
about Newton Ards, and so Tinder did again.
Shocker. You need to go on Hinge.
Well, I've tried that too. I actually got banned from Tinder, but anyway,
Right.
there's a whole different. I don't know. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the Newton Arts. So I met up chatting to this fella. The way it's just texting for like 2-3 weeks, going grand, and finally met up. And I was working in Belfast, and he's down there, so I was like, "Fuck it, sure, I'm down. We'll meet up." He got into my car, and straight away his accent was just like, what the fuck what is this? I've never heard of Newton Ards before, so whenever he said he's from Ards, I genuinely thought that was the name of a place, and I was like, oh, where's that? And he goes, just outside Belfast. I was like, grand, sure, we'll meet up. And then whenever I got chatting to him, I was like, Newton Ards. I'm like, all right, so you're not from Ards? And it's like, no, Ards is shorter from Newton Ards, but it's all like right?
It's like the stereotypical Northern Irish accent, the situation sort of.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
so half an hour into the date, this is physically what I done. I am not joking.
Did you used to do a bit about this?
I've told the story. I've never done. I'm working on a bit, but I've told the story with.
You know what? I'll ask you about it later, but no, I've heard it before. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might have been there whenever I was telling Jordan and all was there.
Yeah, possibly.
But,
either you were telling it there, or it was on a podcast. But
said it in the podcast, yeah. So I physically, like, I couldn't help myself. It was just, I was gonna scratch my own fucking eyeballs out, and I didn't even have nails. So imagine how painful that would be. Like, I physically put my hands up to my temples because I suffer from migraines, and that's where you have to hold. Like, and I just want to guess here, like, oh my god. And he was like, "Are you alright there?" And I just like, I'm so sorry, but I can't listen to your accent.
I know. Why do you think there's no comedians from Arts? None of them.
And his face was just like pure fucking like devastation.
Yeah.
Because he was already like, we're half an hour into the date, and he was already talking about us being girlfriend and boyfriend, and like how we're going to meet up and how's it going to work because he doesn't have a license, and I'm up in Omagh, and I'm just like, I can't listen to the way you talk. And then he's like, his whole face, and he goes, I can't help the way I talk, and I was like, I just need to leave you home. So I left him home, right? Newton Ards. Now, like I said, I've never heard of Newton Ards.
Yeah,
and I'm from a very
Protestant.
Yeah,
this is very very loyalist.
I was like, first of all, I don't think this would have ever worked out, even if I did like your accent. There's no way I would be able to come down here. But yeah, it was a surreal fucking moment for me. I've never heard that accent before.
Yeah, it's grim. Like my again, because my girlfriend's from like the countryside of it, she's not even like close to the accent. She sounds more like yourself, but like her whole family isn't even allowed to know that I'm a Catholic. Like, or if her grandparents find
stop,
out.
really?
So if you're listening to this, Hugh, man, fucking
Even in this day and age.
yeah, like they're like fully like
Yeah.
like. If her like grandparents find out, or mum and dad, I'm sure iffy about it because I mentioned it. We were at the table one day and they were like asking about my mum, and I was like, yeah, my mum has like 10 brothers and sisters, and I was like,
Oh,
Catholic.
straight away. That's
I was like Catholic families, and they were all, what? And I was all, no, doesn't even
See,
matter.
you have a good name.
Yeah,
You don't
I get
know.
away with it.
Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I know. So
Justin
yeah.
Freeburn. Like Freeburn's your actual surname.
yeah. Why'd you think it was like Franco, like fucking
Yeah,
stage
some
name?
people change sort of.
No, kill the magic there. But,
Um,
yeah, that'd be a good stage name actually. But Justin's such a wanky name though. So like I got like
Wacky name.
thanks, Claire. Barred from User Hack the podcast. No.
yeah, Justin's such a wanker.
Like name one Justin who isn't an absolute twat. You know what I mean? Drain.
I don't know even. Was Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, wanker.
Is he?
Yeah.
Justin.
You ever see a
there's
video of
another-
him beatboxing?
There's another one. Justin
Bieber.
Bieber.
Yeah, wanker. See what I
Is there
mean?
any other Justins?
Every one of them wears a tank top and a snapback as well. So
I actually seen Justin Bieber, like, take his clothes off,
right.
DJing. It was over in the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh right.
Oh my god! Actually, that nightclub, I actually got the fucking phone stole off me that night. Wankers.
Justin Bieber's running about with a Nokia 3210.
It was actually an iPhone. Thanks very much. I mean, it's Cannes Film Festival, so
True. Fair enough.
I bought an iPhone just for it. But like, look who I am. Got into like this exclusive fucking nightclub because Leonardo DiCaprio was there that night, and one of our friends looked like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
So
right.
we all, there was a massive queue. Like, I mean, the queue was going down fucking like a mile down the road and a mile down this road. We went straight up the steps. There was 10 of us. So we put, what's his name? Starts at R. Fuck, I'm so bad with names. We put him into the middle and kind of swarmed him around, like covered
looked
him.
like it was DiCaprio.
Yeah, so whenever we come up, the security guards were like, oh, and we're like, Leonardo DiCaprio, like, oh yeah, go on ahead, because they knew that he was doing that night.
Yeah.
We all got in anyway, and we were told to dress like you were going to the fucking gala. So I was wearing this big, oh, it was gorgeous. I was so gorgeous. I was wearing this long black like silk dress and
Right.
big gold bangles.
Yeah.
So whenever you went into this nightclub, you've got the dance floor down the middle and the DJ and the stage all at the top. But up the steps, you've got the VIP. But we weren't allowed up the VIP because we didn't have the armbands.
Oh right.
But
Yeah.
the armbands were gold, and I had big gold necklace on me, so I'm the only one that got up. And all my friends like, come and
Jesus.
find out what's in it. Up on the tables, like, this is not a fucking joke. Like, they're big, massive. I'm trying to look to see you have any, like, big bowls.
Right.
Just big, massive bowls.
That's
And
just,
in it,
that's just what I'm missing in this room.
yeah,
is
you're
a
missing a big bowl.
big fucking
Does
empty
he
bowl.
have one? Were you over there? Inside the bowls were like fucking 3-liter bottles of vodka and cans of Red Bull
Jesus.
and cigars.
Yeah.
Just for all the VIPs to come in. That was like, they didn't have to pay for that. That was just provided to them. So of course
That's what
I was
some
like
people named
taking
Justin.
a bottle of vodka down. I was like, here lads, look what I got. Don't even drink vodka, like, but it was just the thought of like, oh, I got it. So I was flat out going up to the VIP areas. Leonardo DiCaprio fucking did land in, but like, you don't want to pretend. You have
Him
to
and your
act
mate
like,
were just looking at each other like, fuck. Yeah. Which one day shoot? You know that scene out of the movie?
But I went up, and you have to like blend in, pretend you belong there. So I couldn't be flat out taking pictures. So I had to pretend I was phoning someone. I'd done that whole hello. Snap, snap, snap. Took a shitload of photographs of him, and he was wearing like a wee peak cap and all, like a wee farmer's
That's
cap.
such a celebrity thing
love,
to do.
I love them caps.
Do you?
But like, he wore it before
The wee
Peaky
pro
Blinders
base ones?
did. You know, but like, the farmer hat.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
what do you call them?
We Noel Brennan hats, yeah.
The yeah, right enough actually.
Yeah.
But whenever I went down there, so Leonardo, sorry, fucking, what do you call the boy? It was Justin Bieber
One of them.
was doing the
One of the
DJing,
cunts.
and he started taking off his clothes, just throwing it out to the audience, and it was just like, get over yourself.
Yeah,
But
if
this
I
is
had the
the-
body like I'd be,
Well, true,
I'd be doing the
actually.
podcast.
I
like
was
that.
so jealous. I was like, yeah, fuck you. Me standing there in a silk dress, I'm like, fuck you. But there was a stage, like a catwalk, it came out both sides.
Right.
So these cutties came out stark fucking naked. I'm not joking. They're
Where's this
models.
club?
I can't remember I was gonna say Gucci, but it's like, I can't remember the name, but I've got photographs. But they came out. There was about 3 or 4 on each side came out naked the day they were fucking born, like, and I was just like, bitches. But this man came out with them. He was wearing a wee baseball cap and all. And he had black tape, you know, like electrical tape.
Yeah, yeah.
Until one of Justin Bieber's songs, he was able to like design, like he done like a brand pants and
right,
everything.
yeah.
And was cutting and cutting and slicing and cutting, and
Yeah.
before we knew it, they were dressed, but they weren't dressed.
They just weren't
It
tape.
was just the tape, and it was just fucking fascinating. Like,
Yeah.
but anyway,
I've seen
That's my-
I've seen that stuff before where like, you know, on like an art like on the catwalk they'll be like, you know, it always comes up my Instagram as if I'm watching fucking like
He is.
catwalk videos on
He
Instagram.
is.
It is.
It's all the algorithm.
That's what that cowboy hat's for.
I should have brought mine.
I think it looks like an I'm a celebrity one.
Oh yeah, right enough. Actually, were you
know.
in the jungle today?
Either that or Balmoral show. It should say spar in the front of
It's
it.
like brown.
Yeah,
Brown one off my boots.
I know, but yeah.
Did you go to the Balmoral?
Fuck no. I'm like the farthest thing from a culture.
Oh.
You know, I'm from Craigavon, but like I literally I would die in a place like
Because
that.
you messaged me saying funniest cultures, and I was like, oh, is
Yeah.
he? But then
It's
you don't
because of that Darren
accept.
Matthews joke where like he starts off by going, "Is anyone in here?" He's all, "Who's from Belfast?" And then he'll go, "And who's a big culture like me?" You know, and then he just means anyone outside of Belfast. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But whenever I landed in, it was like, there's no fields around here. Like, it's just a fucking,
It's just fucking like a broken
it's just
down
like 3
football net.
roundabouts.
A load of kids like sneaking fags out of their ma's purse. Their ma's just raging because it's their own ones. I swear this place is so like.
Where's my bags?
There was literally, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like going to drive somewhere the other day, and there was just a guy walking a bike up with his face all bleeding and all. He'd probably had his head kicked in the other day. I was laughing my head off. I was like, "Bro, this place is
That's
wild."
normal
Like,
around here.
Oh.
that's what I like pride my whole like set on being like from like a council estate. So
Yeah.
but I think we'll dip into some questions now because we're hitting
What are we hitting there?
30 minutes so far. Do you have anywhere to be or be out early or
I
anything?
have absolutely nowhere to be.
We'll see what time we run on then. That's grand.
My life is very exciting, as you can see.
Speaking of your life, we'll go by one of the questions from a good friend of mine, Will Ray, says, "Any advice for running a comedy night?" Because no, you. If anyone doesn't know Claire, do you want to say it or do you want to keep that in the low?
No, you work away.
Oh yeah, well Claire.
Down the low.
Claire runs the green room in Omagh in Dalys bar, so it's a gig in the like other side of Dalys bar.
In the green room.
In the green room, yeah. It was actually I was very surprised at that gig whenever I did it the other week. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. The crowd was great and all.
Oh,
I
definitely.
just had no idea what the fuck I was saying. I was just on stage just rambling shit out of my mouth. And
I do know that you were slagging cultures, so whenever
Oh,
you
yeah, like-
mentioned, whenever you text me saying funniest cultures, I was like, is he not a culture?
I know, like
I was like, maybe you're allowed to make fun of yourself, like, you know.
I know that was like they're all like the more country crowd seem to be more up for it.
I don't know.
Really?
Like, no, I don't know.
Because
Sometimes.
the wee Belfast smicks will like hackle and all and be dicks, but like the country ones just seem to be like, "Oh, that's me, mate." You know, like that's what I really appreciated about it. That was like
Yeah.
my first one that was like outside of either Belfast, Derry, or Dublin. So like,
Yeah.
you know, like I really enjoyed
Omagh
that.
can be weird. Omagh can
Yeah.
it can be hit or miss sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Like the crowd's different. Like the audience is different every fucking time.
yeah.
So you don't know But I don't know. I just find Omagh people. Maybe because I'm from Omagh, whereas user outside Omagh and user all like this is class.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
like,
outside
was
looking
it
in.
though? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I get what you mean. Yeah.
I judge my own.
Mm.
It's kind of like I don't know, like an artist doesn't like their own stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's what like Lurgan is literally like a mile that way. And like anyone will tell you, like Mickey, Sean Haggerty, Pete, any comedians that are from like this neck of the woods will tell you that Lurgan is the worst place to gig in the entire country. Like
Is there a place in Lurgan?
there's no comedy clubs. They constantly try to do them. They do one night and go, "Fuck that, we're not doing that again." Like every time Pete's trying to run a night in it, and holy shit, he's trying to get like the right bar for it.
Why? Why is that?
Well, we just live here, so like, you know, like I don't know, the crowds are just so hectic. Like they just refuse to be good. Like they'll like hackle everyone. Mickey did there's a bar in Lurgan called the Woodville. He did a show in. I think it was part of his tour, funny enough, but it's quite a big room. So, and he just said he got about 3 minutes of material out in like an hour. So,
Fuck.
yeah, it's mental. Like I don't know, I couldn't do a fucking gig here, but also I mean, at least like you're like, oh, I don't know if I like it in Omagh, but like at least you're able to do it, you know?
Yeah, but the whole purpose of that room is to allow a few different things. So A is to allow people outside of Belfast, because Belfast, you can't expect all comedy to be like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just get out of fucking Belfast
I know,
and experience other circles. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's what like Connor Keys is brilliant at. Like Connor and a few of the other guys that are from like the more Tyrone area would be like the ones who you would see going like, you know, they're still fucking hilarious, even though like some people might not get it. It's the same as like whenever like you know, like an Omagh comedian will come into Belfast and hear like all the Belfast jokes, like, oh, the fucking shankle, and you're
I
like,
don't
fuck
get
off.
any of that.
That's what I mean, you know.
Like,
so
I
like,
struggle in Belfast. Like, I know I got up in the Pav one day there one night, and I was like, well, how's she cutting?
fuck.
And the looks I got, and then I realised like half the audience were English. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. But like, I also have to slow down the way I talk, and then I have to change certain words.
Yeah, I get you.
So I know I could pull, like, I would say cutty for girl.
Yeah.
What's the other word? What's the actual word? And someone actually said to me, it's like, oh, I've never heard cully before. What's that? And I was like, fuck, right. So you're constantly thinking. And I was like, no, I'm not going to change the way, can't change the way I talk.
You sound more dairy there than anything.
Oh,
So
really?
you sound like doing authority there.
Fuck, it's that bad of an accent, I can't even fucking mock it. Like, but no, that's one of the things, like Green Room. And then also a stage for the likes of trying new material, honing material, first timers, wanting just a space till even just not practice in your bedroom, like in front of people. Like you have to die in your hole till
to learn from it, definitely. That's I'll always do like chicken box the damn hole.
Oh really?
So, so like I'm like, if I'm due, to be fair, I'm not going to get too cocky because I've been down on my whole flat out recently. So, but the like
you're all right in the green room, I think.
No, that was just I was trying out a load of
done...
like a new stuff in there. So
that's what it's for.
Yeah, and I didn't know where to put the new stuff, so I was like constantly talking, and I was like, "Where the fuck am I?" And then,
but that worked though.
Yeah, and you
were like, "Oh, I had a set, and now I don't." It's oh fuck it, and everyone, you know, you gotta laugh. And
they were up for the crack. You know, they were more just up to laugh.
You were going on a wee journey there, and we were with you all the way because you were making us aware. It's like, I don't know where I am, and they're like, "All right, let's jump in with you." You know.
No, exactly. I usually don't set a timer or anything like for my sets because I usually have it like where I'm like, right, I know this is like 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, and I went up and I went, I'm gonna have to set a timer here because, and then at like 12 minutes I was like, my watch went off and I goes, right, fuck, I don't even know what I'm saying here, and I just like continued on. But no, they were a great crowd for that room. Are you doing that like as a monthly thing or a weekly thing or
monthly thing? So I keep changing it to figure out what's working. So I really liked the last week was really good.
Yeah.
So everyone got up to 15 minutes, so they can you can hone out stuff, you can iron it out,
perfect,
you can play about, or if you fucked it up, you can shut up still at this. So you've got 15 minutes. You don't have to do it. You can do your 5 or you can do whatever. And there's no head. So I used to do a headline act. So I've cut the headline act because this is just a room for new stuff, freebies, newbies.
It's real open mic-y then.
Just open mic, So I've dropped all that. Instead of allocating people certain times, it's just like, here, you've got up to 15 minutes. Do work your magic, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
But as for advice for running an open mic, probably like, so I'm gonna give this advice, but I should probably give it to myself. Is don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah, I guess.
So like I'm like, oh, Omagh's weird, but it's like, no, Claire, you're fucking providing a space that comedians are crying out for, and Omagh always cries out. But I think every time to see him, it's like, oh, there's nothing to do during the week, and then you give them something to do, and it's like, I've got work in the morning. So that's another thing I've changed. I brought it earlier.
Yeah, that's
so
what it was.
Starts
we were all out by 9:30. I was like, this is class.
And you've got work in the morning. You're grass. You're you know.
Whenever I realized that me and Pete drove up, I was like, we were home for like 10:10 or something. I was like, this is unreal. I was like, I get used to this. You know, usually you're not out of gigs till near like 11:30, 12, and you're like,
see, this is it as I like. You've got that travel to do if you're going. Well, especially for me, it's always Belfast, like usually.
Yeah, I know.
Belfast.
Grim. What's the drive like to Belfast from Omagh?
Do you know what?
I came from here, so it was like half the journey, you know.
Yeah, it was 45 minutes here for me, but I took my time because
the roundabouts.
I was
all 1700.
No, like travel doesn't bother me because for my work I travel everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah,
so like traveling to Belfast is just like, oh, sure, it's just around the corner.
Yeah,
you know?
What is it that you actually do? Because I know
I get asked this all the time. Like, what is it you do, Claire?
I know you're always putting photos up of it, and I'm like, I'm still so confused. You could be anything. Like it's like it's so vague.
Like, one day I'm in the bog, the next day I'm fucking like videoing. I'm like, where is she? I'm a first assistant film director.
Right? What the fuck?
Yeah. Like,
Chico's looking work. But, no, like where is it for, like a company or is
it's
it like...
free? I'm freelance, so I could get a phone call tomorrow. Like even there, where was I? I was in Dublin last week.
Right, I get you. Yeah. What's you charge?
Well, not telling you. But I could be anywhere.
It's on the website.
So like the travel, like there's a lot of my work. I done a lot of work down in Kerry direction.
Right.
So that's a 6-hour journey down.
God. That's such a hike. And would you like because would that take like days at a time, or would it be like one day and then you're up again?
Depends really.
Because 6 hours is wild. Especially like if you're going down to like say like the Kerry, or like if you're going to like fucking Cork or something.
Oh, I filmed to Cork before, yeah.
Like that
Love
you,
it.
and say you had to film for 3 days, like that's a
I know.
4 or 5 journey each way, like so.
No, I've done that. Like I was like a short film would be 3-4 days, and I've travelled down, worked 3 days, and come home. But
You should get a caravan or something.
I've got a wee.
Do you? Yeah.
I don't have a car. I have a van,
Right.
and I have a blow up mattress in the back of it,
Right,
and it's fucking perfect.
real backpacker
like-
like it's.
But you can get them. You can get the van. You can get like what the fuck do you call it? Like a converter. Like you can put the seats and all in the table, and you can pull it out,
Right.
and then it'll just be a van again, like using it for like kind
Yeah.
of putting your turf in, and then I can put the stuff back in again. Do you know what I mean? So I do like my
Could have said
van is-
anything else. Just said the most culty thing. It's like
No,
just
like,
whenever
even
you
there-
need the turf, like
Like yesterday,
when
I
you're
had
not
it out.
sleeping in it.
Like I sleep in it one day, and then the next day I'm cutting wood. So like yesterday, no, Sunday. What day is today? Tuesday. So Sunday, me and my sister and brother are out gathering tree trunks for
Right.
wood. But then I'll clean it all out and put the mattress in at the weekend or something. Do you know what I mean? Like so.
Will you be farm or like, or is this for like the fire or something?
Firewood, yeah.
Right. Okay. Jesus. That's how fucking council estate I am. Like Jesus
Wait, you
Christ.
have a fire?
I was like, what the fuck's a fire? I was like, it's a bonfire. Like I thought you said you were Catholic.
Yeah, Halloween's coming up. We're not allowed bonfires. though.
Anytime we go around, if we go around collecting stuff, it's usually just crab apples to hit windows with.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, sort of. There's a tree back behind Audron's house. It's like just crab apples fall off it. Whenever we were kids, we used to just split windows with. We fuckers, like, what the hell was wrong with us?
I know.
You know. But
I
we
used to throw snowballs whenever, like, my family lives up in just beside a park, but we'd always run about the
Yeah.
park. And I remember I was snowballing this fella's house, and then his ma rang my auntie. I was around my cousin's house. So whenever I went down, she was like, "Hey, he's throwing snowballs." I was like, "How does she know?" They fucking rang, so I had to go up and apologise to the woman. So I was like,
bastards.
"Dicks." So we couldn't get away with nothing, like.
Fucking hell.
I think I answered that question, didn't I?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll.
Yeah, just don't be too hard on yourself,
Yeah.
and just fucking go for it.
Because
You know.
Will's running that River Rooms now in Belfast.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's a very good gig. I did the very first one, and it was very nice. Long ass room though. Like the room is like very long and thin, and the tables are all on
Love
one
it when
side.
it's long and thin. Sorry, just.
Do you ever hear Alan Irwin's joke about having a dick like a Coke can? And he goes, "It used to mean short and fat," and he's
Yeah.
like, "No, it means long and thin." And he's like, "Whenever something." And then
Oh yeah.
then now he's like, now at the end of the joke, it's like he comes back. That I'm telling this fucking set, he's gonna fucking kill me. But he's like, when someone says, "Oh, you have a dick like a Coke can," you're like, "What the fuck do you mean now?"
There's so many options.
Yeah. But I had another question here. This one I assumed was going to come up since you're the second female comedian to come on the podcast.
Comedian.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. That's why I was like, God, I hate them questions. But that's why we actually talked about that with Rachel McPick as well. About how like we hate the whole whenever someone is MCing and they'll bring you on as a woman comedian.
We're making people aware of that now
Yeah,
to stop saying it.
That's fuck that. I hate it
So like
much.
I know I'm somewhere soon, and I actually I was messaging the fella and I was like, just a heads up,
Yeah.
do not introduce me as that. And yeah, so we had that, like, it's starting to be a conversation now, you know.
I know. So like Jack McGee, for example, he was MCing the Pav last night, and I was just down to watch. And when he first came on, he was like, "We've got male comedians, we've got female comedians, we've got a comedian from Lisburn," and it was like, that's all right. You know, he was using that as the punchline for the Lisburn bit. You know, so he was using that as
From
a bit
where?
of Lisburn.
Lisburn.
Yeah, Lisburn.
Sorry.
You said it a wee bit funny
You're,
there.
it was like Lisburn, and I was like, is he saying somewhere different?
Lisburn. I don't know.
Lisburn.
I don't know, because our school was called Lismore, and like in Irish it's pronounced like Leash.
Right,
more. So
okay.
I don't know. So it was like, I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever.
Sorry, sorry. What are you saying?
Adam Byrne, he'll know he's from
I
Lisburn.
can't listen to the way you talk.
To be fair, I have a very weird accent. Mine like is a bit of a mixture of like a few things. Mine's a bit of a mixture of like Lurgan and Belfast. So I go very one tone like this, and then like it'll go up the fuck like
Tone.
you know. So like Pete has a very Lurgan accent. Like it's like almost culty, but it's almost Belfast, you know.
Yeah.
But the question was, do you think it's harder being a woman in the comedy scene, especially because it's Northern Ireland? I know that's very
in the north. I find it. I
in
think
the north.
any industry.
I suppose,
So, first of all, my main industry would be the film industry, and I didn't really notice it,
Yeah.
but I have, and I hate fucking admitting this because I'm the last person that anyone would expect this to come out of my mouth, but I have become very woke.
Right.
whole feminism crack, and I hate that. Look at you, and I'm like, no, stop that. But now I'm starting to be more aware of it,
Yeah.
and I'm the last person that people would expect to speak up. But maybe that's the best thing, because it's
Yeah.
like, how long are we second? You know, there
Oh,
is
I get
something
you.
fucking. It's like, oh, there's. Where do I start, Justin?
Yeah,
Where do you want me to start here?
I don't know. I'm open. Like this is what this is all
Can
about.
we
Say what the
talk
fuck you want.
about, right? No, I'm not giving out. I'm not bitching, right?
Right.
But last week or 2 weeks ago, there was a comedians football team, five-a-side. put
That's open to
together.
everyone.
I was
There's
like,
a Facebook page for that.
Females play football too.
I swear to God, that's like
so-
that's there's an actual Facebook page for that. It's not like it's we're all just like clicking together.
Well, you see, I seen the photograph and it's like comedians
just
football,
about in
and I
video.
was going to comment like females play football, and I was like, no, the comment's going to be picked up wrong. I'm going to be seen as that awkward girl or that awkward female. No one wants to deal with that. And oh, look, she's making drama. And it's like, no. I'm not making drama. I'm just making people aware.
Yeah.
So then I put it into our female group.
You have a female
We
group?
have a female group
What the-
because
I'm not even
lads
part of a
have
male
WhatsApp group.
I'm not. What
Well,
the
I
fuck
know
is
that
this?
there's a bunch of the lads prior.
No
to,
one's coming on the
prior to
podcast after
yous
this.
have a WhatsApp group.
Oh, I know that. Yeah,
but no,
like, fuck everyone else.
we
See
have
if
a
Kieran
female-
and Pete and all fucking have one. I'm not invited in it. Never coming on this again.
They do. Yeah.
Plug your own
They-
fucking.
They have a WhatsApp group.
Oh, fuck them.
It says "fuck Justin."
I wouldn't even be
It's time to
surprised.
fuck Justin.
I genuinely wouldn't
Justin
be
the
surprised.
wanker. Justin Bieber or Justin Timberlake? No, Justin
Justin
Bieber.
has no hair. Fuck's sake, that's what it's called. But I swear.
Justin's a mullet. No. So I
I'll
put it-
meet this female one. I'm feminist as fuck.
We're gonna put you in. But no, I asked in the group there today, just out of curiosity, like, was anyone asked to be in this football team?
Yeah.
I was like, no,
That's
but
that's what I mean. It's an actual like Facebook page, like the Jack made, so
But,
it's not like for just us.
but no, that's what I'm saying. It's were any of us asked, and it's like most of them said no, but then Rachel said that Pete asked her to put together a girls one,
right.
but I was just like, well, why should we put together a
Yeah,
girls one?
I
You're
know.
still dividing us.
yeah.
And the exact same thing happened. I used to work at McDonald's,
right.
and McDonald's.
Like you flip them women burgers.
No,
fuck's sake.
we didn't hear this, right? Flip a woman bird. How do you like your baps? Big. Sorry, so
Facts. So.
but the exact same thing happened in McDonald's. They put together a football team.
Football team, yeah.
And they had it up in the crew room, and they had it all like all the lads' names
Mm.
of who was in the team. So I went to my manager and I was like, "Here, why are the girls not involved?" They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
shit!" He shit himself. And I was like, "Well, maybe we can put together a girls one." And he's like, "Claire, if you can put together a girls team,
Yeah.
you work away." So I did. I went around all the girls. There were like 2 or 3 were like, "Okay, yeah." So 2 plus myself. So I was like, "There's only 3, but it's a bit unfair." So he
I get you.
was actually wild sound. He says, "Look, let me go to the other restaurants and ask if any of their females want to play football." So they did. So then it became men and females.
It was just,
in the one team.
McDonald's versus KFC at that
McDonald's
point.
versus KFC. But no, that's what it was. We weren't separated. It was all in the one team. So it was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, is that another thing? Do I have to like be like, here, manager of this comedians football team?
Jack McGee.
But no, it's stupid things. Like,
No, I get it. Obviously, I
Yeah.
think because Jack just texted me one day, so I was like, the group chat had been made for like 2 weeks before I was even invited to it. You know,
Say your group chat. Like,
that's what I mean. It started as a group chat, and then Jack had the brilliant idea of making an actual Facebook page because I think it did seem a bit exclusive
Yeah.
at that point.
But it's not just the football. There's a lot of other things going on.
Oh really?
Well,
Well, I'm not aware of these things, so
there's a
fucking
lot
rant
of other
away.
things that has been talked about for years, but it's always just lads. It's a very, like, any cuddy will agree to this, I think, majority of us.
Yeah.
It's very much a lads club in the north.
Well, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, definitely.
And then in the group it was pointed out that maybe it's because females aren't making it their kind of career. But the reason why I know a
There's-
few of
there's
us
a good
are
few,
now
yeah.
like fully fucking gone at it now.
That's
It's
what I
like,
mean. But it was
we're
always
going
just
at it.
like Diona
yeah,
and
Diona's
like
the main
fucking
one.
Teresa
so she's
Livingston,
like,
you know.
so they're kind of like our icons.
Yeah.
But the reason I think none of us really made it to careers because we don't have anyone to look up to. We don't
Yeah.
have that support system.
Exactly,
so with us
yeah.
here, are we
No one
group
really
now?
paved the way for it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the same way
so
like
we're now
Gaddis did
trying to
for
pave
us.
the way.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, we have to work our fucking ass cuts off here, so it'll be easier for the next generation. And yes,
Yeah.
we may be forgotten about or pushed aside or whatever.
Also, I think sorry to interrupt you. I think that's what the football thing was. I think it was just like stupid ignorance. If you get, I mean,
Yeah,
it
like,
wasn't
that's what I'm saying.
anyone.
I'm not bitching or not
It
giving
wasn't
up. It's just,
someone being
we
like,
were just
fucking, we're going to do this to lads. Like, I
Yeah,
think someone was
exactly,
just like,
exactly.
I'm going to invite the people I think likes football.
Yeah,
That's sort of
exactly,
what
yeah.
it started off was. But that's what I mean. I think because Jack, even like she and Todd's
Jack,
like involved.
he didn't intentionally do it. Like,
Yeah.
nobody intentionally done
Yeah.
it. But it was like,
I
here,
get
don't
what you
forget
mean.
about us. But it's
There's
very
a
much
vibe
like
there,
that.
yeah.
Don't forget about us. But even there's like a few gigs I know where they'll have like a female on the lineup, and then like, I think I've gotten in touch and like, oh, I've already got a female on the lineup, but it's like, fuck off. Like,
Why that doesn't? Yeah, but
like
that's
they're
I'm
the
saying.
token fucking female. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like the PSNI recruiting a certain amount of fucking Catholics to meet
Yeah.
their quota. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like,
You're a
here, I've
box
already got a
ticker, like,
female,
yeah.
so it's like, well,
I
you've
know.
got fucking 5 dicks on stage. You don't want more boobs, like.
That's how I got introduced the other fucking week in the green room. Was speaking of our next act, or speaking of dicks, our next act has one. And I goes, that was weird. Why the fuck did you introduce me like that? But yeah, no.
You see, that's what I'm saying. It has to work both ways. Like, you
Yeah.
can't say, oh, here's a woman. It's like, well, you can't point out, oh, here's a man. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. That's what I was
So-
like. Obviously, there is a certain element to like where it can be funny, acknowledging the difference, but it has to be
Yes.
done right. You know,
It has to
it
be,
can't be
yeah.
like just blatant. You know,
Yeah.
man, woman. You know, like it's we're not.
And I think a lot of
fucking
fellas
cavemen,
don't even realise, like, for example, a recent gig that I done, and he's going to know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention names, but
Yeah.
it's just, he didn't intentionally, he wasn't being hateful or nothing. Men just don't think. Do you know what I mean? You
Like,
just
that's
say
what I
it.
mean. It's just
Kinda like myself
stupidity and
whenever-
ignorance.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
Like,
It's
people
not like
think I'm
people.
racist. I'm not. I just don't think, you know. But like, the room was kind of getting rowdy,
Right.
and I was up next, and it was grand.
Mm-hmm.
It was 100%. Afterwards, the MC said to me, what was his exact words? He's like, yeah, I was a bit weary about bringing you on.
Right.
I wasn't sure how that was going to go down, you know, with you being a female. And I'm just like,
What's his initials? Tell me. What's
no,
his...
no, I'm not mentioning any names, honest, because he didn't mean it. He didn't, like, you know, he wasn't being a dick about it. But it was like, just being aware of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, why should you make me?
Mm.
Why should you be afraid of bringing me
exactly.
on? Like, it's just
And I
like
think
bring on.
of anyone, like you would probably be one that would be able to handle that.
Oh, I
better.
did. Like,
You'd
he
be-
even said, he's like, well done, you fucking, like,
Yeah.
you won them over and you kind of won them back a kind of way. But
You'd have fucking like you would have done better with like hecklers than me, like, you know what I mean? So like,
But see, I think it's also like, this is why I'm saying I'm the last person that would become like woke,
Yeah.
because I've always been one of the lads,
yeah,
and I've worked my whole entire life in bars, and I've dealt with men, primarily males,
Mm.
and then coming from the film industry was predominantly male.
Yeah.
So like, I've grown up in a male kind of environment.
Mm.
I hung out with males. All my best friends are males, but now it's like, actually something has to change here.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I
'cause
completely get
I'm
that.
I'm starting to become aware of just not, I don't know, not being treated equally.
Yeah, know what I think it all like sort of boils down to, like every
Not being allowed to play football, okay? That's what it comes down to,
yeah,
right?
you're just fuming about this
Fucking
football
love
thing.
football. I do love football. Like.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it boils down to just people like becoming mates. You know,
This is it, exactly.
So it's like,
yeah.
like I'm very inclusive of everyone. Like I don't really have like I have like my core group of friends, and then everyone else I sort of treat the same outside it. So I'm not really like clicky with anyone.
Yeah.
But you do see cliques forming. But I think it's just usually like people who do just get along better, and then it ends
Yeah.
up seeming bad.
It's the
from
same
that.
anywhere, like school
Yeah,
or
exactly,
like
you know.
workplaces or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
So like that's you saying like you grew up with the lads more often. You know, like that's.
just less drama. No, but girls are very much like that's what this is what we're saying in the group. Like we have to start, because it's very obvious in the scene where the lads, like, you share each other's gigs, you share each other's podcasts, you're always talking
Fucking
about
tell
each
them to share
other,
mine.
push
Fucking
each
not
other,
one.
but like no, I always see your stuff being shared, but like
It's
the
Talal,
female,
that's
we
it.
aren't doing that enough. We aren't clicking. We aren't
Yeah.
supporting each other. We
I
aren't.
get you. Yeah.
So now it's like
You
whenever we
shouldn't
create
have
the group,
to though. That's the word.
This
Like
is
I
it,
get
like,
fucking this sound
so-
like one line woke cunts, but you shouldn't.
yeah.
Like it should just be like again. I think yous are doing a great job of like. I fucking sound so like I'm like
You're
yous are.
doing a great job,
I'm like,
ladies.
well done, girls. Yous are great. I'm like fucking. I'm like for girls, yous are
No,
great
but
at
that's
it.
something like we are. Like I know it was made aware in the group. It's like we aren't going at it as a career, and then it was like, well, we don't have anyone to look up to,
Yeah.
and we aren't. There's no kind of, I don't know, like friend group for us to get in. So it was like,
Yeah.
right now that we're supporting each other. Since that group I was like, oh fuck, I'm not alone. I have got the support. The girls are here to support me, and I have this. I don't know if you've noticed the past while. Like I've got so many fucking gigs because
Yeah.
I know now I've got that support. Whereas beforehand I was
Exactly,
like, I'm on my own here.
I know.
But I'm not my own. Once I put that group together, it was like, fuck, actually, we're all in the same boat.
That's me. Like, even,
So-
like, what was I? Well, again, like, your gig, it was, like, half and half. You know, there was, like, 3 girls, 3 guys. Or
Was
whatever
there?
it
I
was.
just seen it was all comedians.
Whatever, you know what I mean? Sorry.
Oh, whatever.
Fucking trying to be cross-community here. Just fucking throwing me under the bus, for fuck's sake.
I think there was like one Protestant. Oh, I was like,
There actually wasn't. We were talking about that. No one was Protestant in the lineup.
Shut up,
so
really?
fuck you. She's
was
like,
actually.
yeah, we're all comedians. It's like we're all Catholic comedians. That's what
Were we actually?
Yeah, everyone. Me,
Hold on, I'm
Pete,
trying to think.
you, Rachel. Don't
Is
know
Pete
about Sue.
Catholic?
Yeah, that's how wild is that? Pete is like, he looks like fucking Johnny Adair the musical.
I
Like,
thought
so
he was a Protestant.
yeah, no, and he lives in a Protestant area as well.
I remember the
Lives
first
over
time I
there.
put his name on the poster, or I put his name in the lineup, and Google or autocorrect changed it to Griffin.
Yeah.
To Pete Griffin.
That's what Adam Byrne always calls him. He always calls him Peter Griffin, and he
It was
fucking hates it.
fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It was weird because then he messaged saying like it's Griffin. I was like, I wrote, oh fuck, because I was very aware. I was like, don't write Griffin, don't write
Yeah.
Griffin, don't write Griffin. But because I was texting it really quickly and sticking it up online because the time was running out.
What's the name
Fuck
you'll
Griffin.
get, like, you know, you ever get like put on a poster or whatever and they get your name wrong? Has
Oh,
that happened to you yet, or
without the I?
without the
I
I?
is so fucking
Oh,
important.
Claire, like,
It was
yeah,
Darren
just
Matthews
RE.
had on the sunflower.
Fucking darn.
And he had fuck yeah, Darn. No, I love Darn.
And I'm doing the
So-
sunflower this weekend.
But I messaged. I was like, do I message? Do I want to be one of these like awkward people? You know. So I was like, fuck it, it's my name. Actually.
Exactly,
So it's
yeah.
like if I wrote Darn with one R, he would fuck. You know, he wouldn't be
know.
long and pulling me like. He could pull me all he wants. No, I'm joking. I have nothing to pull really on with.
He's a good looking fella, darn.
It's my dick.
He just
Um,
he's not 6 foot though. That's but,
Darn, how tall are you? Height doesn't matter as long as you're not 5 foot. But
you've heard
yeah,
it.
no, I messaged just by like here, like oh, the A, ha ha, and then he corrected it straight
Yeah.
away. But no, the
That's-
A is very,
Yeah.
very important. You know,
I
you
get-
need
I-
that line and dot.
I get Justin Freeman a lot. And
Freeman.
I hate that. And fucking
Because the Freeburn, I was like, yeah, it's not your name.
I know. One of my, like, Connor McGinley. I'm sorry, he doesn't listen to this, so I'm gonna say it. Connor McGinley. I've gigged with him like 30 times.
Yeah.
Every time he's got my name wrong.
He done the same till Talal. I actually
Yeah.
cut that out of my podcast because I was like, do I mention his name or not? So I like, there's a part where he's
Yeah.
like, Talal John Mars, because he was saying
Yeah.
what Connor McGinley had said on
know,
the PAV.
I was like, bro, fucking give me my name right.
I think,
Then,
does he work in Starbucks?
probably. He looks like he works in Starbucks. He looks like he works in CEX. I actually don't think he works. Like, I'm not
Do any
slagging.
comedians work like
Fair enough. But I think he's like a freelance like graffiti artist or something. That's what
deadly.
yeah, so I think that's what he does.
like
But
a
it-
Banksy wannabe or something?
Yeah, wanksy. That's a Brona Diamond.
You
but
said
I'm
it, not
sorry.
me.
But no, I like Connor and I get along with him. But every time he gets my fucking name wrong, and then I was doing a gig in Dublin, that halfpenny one, and they put my name down as Justin Freeman and used a photo of me that
fuck?
we took at Oxford Island in like 2015,
Oh
and I was
my
like,
god. Catfishing.
I was
How
like,
tall were you?
I've been 6 foot from I was fucking 3, but no, that's why I've had chest hair from I was 12 as well. It's fucked up.
Fuck.
I developed very young. But I swear to God, like I was so pissed off at it. Just reading my name as Justin Freeman, and I was looking at it, and I was like, am I going to be that dick? And I went, yep, change it. You know, like
Oh yeah, no, like, because like whenever people then go to look you up on your
yeah,
socials,
exactly, yeah.
who the fuck's Justin Freeman?
Morgan
Have you ever
Freeman's
looked up
son.
Justin Freeman?
What, like Google or like?
He's that wanker from
Oh, yeah.
Yeet Nerds.
Is your Tinder date?
Oh yeah, so there's this other fella I met in Tinder.
Probably had a weird phase in Tinder. So
Oh,
yeah, I hated
fucking
Tinder.
No, I'm done. I'm done with all that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I couldn't go back to it. Like it
I
fries my head.
downloaded there out of boredom. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Because I was barred from it or banned from it.
Right?
So
Yeah,
I
you saying
wanted
that
to
earlier.
see if I could get back in, and I forgot. I was like, oh, I've got a new phone number now.
It's like coming up and the bouncers on not the night, love. Just
But I got my haircut. Do you not recognize me anymore?
no, sort of God, mate. I'm sober this time.
I'm my twin sister. We've got a twin sister, but
Put that down. That's Tinder bouncer. That's the name of the podcast. You write that down.
Tinder bouncer. No, I got back in, but I was left, just swiping left. I actually took a video off and put it up on Instagram, and fellas were like, "Is this really what it's like?" And I'm like, "Yes, this is what." But then the lads are right, and the girls are like left. So it's like you're never
So
gonna
picky,
fucking
like what, like why are girls so picky? Like, but,
so picky.
I know,
so
be more
like,
inclusive.
I didn't realize how picky I was until I started
yeah.
being picky.
I know. I thought I was picky,
Yeah.
and then I realized I wasn't. I was like,
So how does your girlfriend feel if she listens to this?
Oh
Like,
no,
yeah,
that's
just
I
like,
was very,
whatever,
I was
like.
very lucky with my girlfriend. I'm still convinced she's
Did you
like
meet her
mentally ill.
on Tinder?
No fuck. I met her just through friends and stuff. So it was I was lucky enough that she like it was like 6 months of like us just like hanging about,
Yeah.
and I never spoke to her because I was like, she's out of my league. I'm not gonna even try. You know,
Yeah.
you get turned down and it's weird because it's friends. Ended up she liked me back, so I was like, fuck yeah, deleted Tinder. But she the bouncers were
I
gone.
wonder is that why so many fellas don't talk to me then?
Probably is. I swear to God, guys have fucking like no matter like you could like. Guys just always feel worse about themselves no matter what, you know. Even if they're cocky cunts, you know, you get them dickheads. That's all insecurity, fucking.
Yeah.
That's all like.
Lads are very insecure though.
They are, 100%.
Like I've went out with
recently.
fellas where I've had to like build up their confidence.
Yeah.
And there was actually one fella, right? This is an ex of mine. A few weeks into the relationship, he was texting other girls. And
Dickhead.
he didn't realise that he was logged into my phone, so whenever he
Yeah.
left, I kept getting messages. But I was busy watching something. I thought I was involved in a group, so I just left it. Went to my bed and just like, oh, I'll see what this group is, and it was him messaging other girls, and I was like, what the fuck? So whenever I confronted him about it, this is his excuse, right?
It's the evil world we live in.
He was like, oh, you know, I didn't, like, you're out of my league, and I thought you'd realise and you'd dump me, so I wanted to have a backup plan.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God.
Your backup plan's a wanky dickhead.
And
Fuck
I
up.
was like, do you know what? That's fair enough, actually, because I am actually gorgeous. So yeah, I'll stay with you. So I stayed with him.
Yeah.
So
I know my girlfriend's like, you texting any other girls? I'm like, no. Claire, you alright to do this podcast this week? It's sad. My phone's so sad. Like I get no messages.
there's so many lad friends that like aren't my friend anymore because
Yeah.
they've got girlfriends now.
Oh,
and it's
really?
like,
Yeah.
oh, can't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
get
really
that.
frustrating.
And my ex was like that. She was very she was very weird about me having female friends. And I'm very like I'm very mutual with everyone. I don't
Yeah.
really treat anyone different, you know, so I'm like and I just talk to everyone the same way, so I
Yeah.
don't get why anyone would be insecure about that, you know. And
You
but
see, I get a lot people like, how do I put this? So like I'm just a very bubbly, outgoing
Yeah.
person. And I always get accused of flirting, and it's like
Yeah.
I couldn't flirt if you fucking paid me. I don't know how to flirt.
I know, but when
It's
like
oh
you're
my
but
God. But like I
you
don't
could
do
come
that.
across as that naturally,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's just what happens. But like
all
even,
the time, like
again, same thing with like I think that's a country girl thing as well. Like just happen to be like you come across as flirty no matter what because you
Yeah.
talk to everyone the same.
Yeah.
But the second it comes to flirting, you're like,
don't know how to do it. And like even I've had fellas tell me like, Claire, I've been flirting with you for like 6 months. I'm like, oh, I just thought we were being friends, and that's how I always end
I was
up.
just trying to get in the comedy football scene. That's all it was.
No.
But yeah,
How many balls do I have to? No,
Oh,
no.
Jesus. I wanted to hear that joke, so I did.
It's like, I was like, should I say it? Should I say it? It's fucking coming out. It's coming
But,
out. No,
100% though, guys definitely are a lot more insecure than girls.
Yeah.
Like for example, my girlfriend's like, have female friends you want, I don't give a fuck. And then I'm like, if a guy comes up to her, I'm like, fucking stupid. like you fucking talk to her again. I'm wrapping your jaw around your fucking neck. But yeah, no, I swear to God, it's a weird thing between guys and girls. That's why a lot of guys come off as like dickheads, because it's all insecurity.
Yeah.
I'm exposing you, so let's deal with it. Move on from another question before I get kneecapped for that statement.
or kneecap ye.
I thought this was a funny one. Which famous serial killer do you think you could take?
Oh, I love serial killers.
Yeah.
This is what pisses me off, right? Everyone's all into Jeffrey Dahmer. And it's like, excuse me. 12 years ago, I got all into my serial killers. I actually read Jeffrey Dahmer's dad's autobiography. Yeah, he does have one, right? And I was telling people about Jeffrey Dahmer, and they're like, you fucking weirdo, right? And I was telling them about Ted Bundy, I was telling them about Fred and Rose West. I have all serial killers.
Yeah.
I have this bookshelf in my house. It's like a big, massive shelf. What's that?
Made out of human bones.
And it's just all serial killer books. And people are like, what the fuck, Claire? Now Jeffrey Dahmer's on Netflix and everyone's like, Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah, I don't get it.
But
at
yeah,
all, like.
we're not like, oh, you fucking weirdo. So fuck yous.
I know.
Fuck yous, right? Who could I, what was the question again?
who do you think you could? Which one of them do you think you could take? I'm a
Could I
big
take
guy.
up the aisle or
Whatever way you want. He didn't
take up the
specify.
whole which one could I take?
So I think there's not many. I think like Ed Gein. Well, you know that big like fucking mod cunt who was like 7 foot tall. I think that's like the only one I could.
Is that the one that
I was gonna say that narrow it down. Like
that
eat
the
and
one
kill
that-
people. Oh, which one? Like.
there's a few of them. Let's see. Who could I take? I would say Rose West.
Rose. Oh, a female one then, or is that a girl or guy?
Should I pull him on that?
Oh, fucking, I'm not educated in this
I'm
shit.
only joking. I'm just being a cunt now.
I'm not brushed up on my fucking. fucking.
Yeah, because she was, yeah.
What
Yeah,
did she do? Was there a lot to do with her?
It
or,
was
like,
mainly her. It was mainly the husband that they actually killed their own like daughters and stuff.
was she the one that? Oh no.
Fred and
fuck.
Rose, right? Their husband and wife.
Yeah, I think I
And
heard.
they
Like,
buried the girls in the backyard and all.
is that not your mom that did it like very recently?
Yeah, they all buried them in the back. I was like, oh, we're gonna hide bodies. No one will search my backyard. That's the first place they look
Yeah.
like, you know.
I thought it was one of them ones that like she killed the husband. Like she married into a family. She killed the husband. Cooked him and fed him to his own kids.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there was like a stew pot boiling in the kitchen with a guy's skull in it, and she was just feeding the kids
What's
the
the
dinner.
name of that one?
I can't remember, but
I'm
she
really
was
bad with names,
she
but
looked
I've
like
heard of this.
she looked like she worked in Tesco's. Like
I'd probably take her.
yeah,
Take her, yeah. Like what does she do? Scan like fucking muscles.
No, but I don't like. There's not a lot of the serial. A lot of them are just wee like skinny runts. You know, a lot of them are just like Jeffrey Dahmer. Like fucking, he's built like a bus ticket. Like, you know, what's he gonna do? Like he's probably a fucking black belt in jiu-jitsu or
Well,
something.
if he had his drill and I just had my hands,
Alright.
well then. Well, actually, right. Let's
A
go.
drill's
into
not
this
very
question.
effective in
Do
effect.
they have weapons, or am I allowed a weapon?
Well, imagine the Hunger Games, but it's with serial killers, right?
Was it Squid Games? Or no, yeah, I love Ted Bundy as well. I'd let
Yeah.
him take me anywhere. So if I were to answer that, what serial killer could I take?
The man who raped and murdered like multiple teenage women. Yep, that's
Definitely Ted Bundy.
Is there a weird thing about that? Like girls are weirdly attracted to serial killers, or
I think so, isn't it?
like because I understand some of them are just generally good looking,
I
but
think
like
it's because they play hard to get. So
who the victims are like. Fuck that. Like, she
I'm
was
the best
playing
you've
hard to
ever
get.
had.
She was kicking everything and fucking. She wouldn't
you
go
know
down with
that-
them sleeping pills. Fuck's sake.
he gives out free sweets. Ted Bundy actually
His
got
van
married.
was so comfy.
He got married while on trial.
Oh, his wife was a nutcase as
He
well.
found a
wasn't she?
loophole while he was actually his own his own solicitor.
Oh
and all.
yes, he fucking he like represented himself.
Yeah, he
Holy
was
shit.
fucking smart bastard. I love all
Yeah,
that.
didn't he
shit.
escape from like 2 prisons or something as well?
Didn't he? Did he? Was that him?
He like
I don't
slimmed
think he
weight out.
did.
He there was one he like slimmed weight out. Sorry, and he like fucking lost a load of weight and like climbed out through like the grate in the ceiling. You know, like them like things you can like lift up and move.
Yeah.
Like he slid out like through one limb.
See, I used to read all their books,
Mm.
but that was.
That's some
actually
Fast and the
before.
Furious shit, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I swear to God.
But then they all started morphing in. Like, so I'm getting mixed. I used to get mixed up on ones because I have a friend and he's all into serial killers, so it was him that got me into it.
Yeah.
And we would sit nights out and quiz each other. And be like, who's your favourite? Who's your favourite? Oh, well, I know this. Oh, well, I know this about him. And they're like, oh, fuck. You know, it's like, I need to go home and read more. Just,
It's
we're
an
like,
intense date.
No,
To
I
meet him
just-
on Tinder.
But I think women are far more. Why are we into serial killers? Like, why is that a thing? Let's talk about this.
I don't know. I think
I think it's the suspense. It's like, oh, what's he gonna do now?
yeah, because women have that weird thing where they like unpredictability.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think subconsciously they'll be like, no, I like a guy who's like, you know, he'll keep me, you know, keeps getting paid every month and all. But they want the drug dealer in the dough. Let's be honest here, like, you know,
Oh no. Nope.
they want
Been
that
there,
deal.
done that. Mm-mm.
No,
Nope.
you getting past that age now, yeah.
It's like, no, ladies, we don't want that.
Oh, but you say that, but like the second one comes around, and you go, he's good with the kids now, isn't he? He's like, you know.
No, I was going out with this fellow once, right? And I didn't realise that's what he was.
Right.
And he disappeared.
Amazon delivery man,
He disappeared for a full month.
right?
I had
Just back from a Gabriel.
I had a friend that passed away, and I went down to their funeral, and I came home, and he just off the grid, literally
Right.
disappeared.
Jesus Christ.
And so I got into a new relationship. I was like, fuck it.
A month.
Yeah.
Claire moves quick.
I mean, there's a fucking queue, Justin. Okay, I need to get through it quickly. So he then like reappeared after a month and was like, "Oh yeah, sorry." I was
Yeah.
like, "Where were you?" "Oh, I can't tell." And then I found out that
Colombia.
he was into all that druggy shit. So I was like,
The druggy shit.
"Bye." But that's where it was. He just disappeared for a month, to, like, sort shit out.
I wish I could just do that. I wish I could just take a month off from life and just
Yeah.
go and just
It
do
was
something
so
else.
fucked up. Like, but I actually took him back for a while too. Sorry.
I see what I mean. You fucking head case. Some guy with a good job and all you were probably dating at the time, and you're like, "I'm sorry, the spy's just back," and he's
It's
like,
like, he came back to me. Like, they always come back.
"I could change him. I feel like I could
And
change
that's
him."
another thing. This is another thing we always
Girls
have to-
always want to change a
we
guy.
love a good project.
You
We love
never fucking succeed ever. When was the last time you ever heard
No,
like?
right. Sorry, I have succeeded, but then
You with him now?
they've went on. So the next person,
Oh, so he like
they're
right.
100%.
Dick.
Like, there's so many ex-boyfriends of mine that I was the last girl before they got married.
Right.
Like it's so fucked up.
You're just
it's
like a
so
war-
fucked
you're-
up.
you're
Like
support-
I prepared them.
You're a support act. Are you?
It's like whenever it's like I loosened the jar for you. You're okay, so you can get into that shit. But yeah, there's loads. Like even there was a fella where he actually like he cleaned up his act and got his license, got a job. You know, fucking got his shit together.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm done with you now. So
Fair
I think
enough.
that's what it is. It's like
Here.
I fix them till an extent where it's like you're good to go now.
Right.
Here you go, ladies. But yeah, there's a
Yeah, but then
I
you're
can
not
rhyme
like
off like.
it's never like the situation where it's like, oh, I fixed him and now he's with me. Like, you know, it's never like
Yeah.
the same situation like
Yeah.
that. Like, oh,
I think
I
it's
have a
because the project's
friend.
over. Do you know what I mean? The project's finished.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like building a house. It's like I'm not going to stick around and in case the owner
I'm sleeping in
wants
this
me to.
van.
Yeah, like here I've built this house for you, and the owner's like, "Do you want to just stick around in case you know we might need an extension or something?" It's like, "Nah, you're good."
I have a car van, love, don't worry about it.
I've got my van with my blow up mattress. Cheers. I've got some turf to foot here. Good luck.
Fucking
But
yeah, I know it's a weird thing because I always like I wasn't ever like I was always just kind of a weird dude. As lucky enough that I actually had female companions in life, you know,
Yeah.
because I was a weird dude growing up. So I'm not like the fact that you know it was always you could always see it like the drug dealers or like the scumbags doing better with girls, and you were always like
Yeah.
fuming at it. And it's only now I'm starting to see where girls will sometimes prefer. You still get the odd wee fucking like smick who's like, he's gorgeous, isn't he? And he like drives like a BMW, but
Oh.
you know he's just beat the fuck out of two kids in the street. You know, like
oh right.
you know, like it's them sort of guys.
Mm.
But I don't
But
know.
a fella who drives a BMW to me is like,
Like, he's just heavy-handed with the kids.
I was like, he's too high maintenance there.
Yeah. Is that what is that a big deal for you? Like, are you into a guy with with money or a car? Or like,
Nah.
no, it's not your thing. No.
Yes. You get lads that are just like show offish
Right. Yeah, I
and
get
think
you.
they're all like, because I used to go with a fella. I've got a story for all of them, but I used to go with a fella who had a. What did he have? I've got a picture of it. It's like what was it, like a Ferrari or some shit? I don't know.
Right.
But like he got a finance or something out of it, and he drove around like as if he was, but he was fucking horrible. He was a
Omagh
cunt.
Town Centre.
Yeah.
But he was very much like, oh, look at me. And whenever we
Yeah.
used to go out on dates, he would just take photographs of the car. He would have to get parked
Grim.
up at a certain angle
Fucking
under a certain
virgin.
light, take photographs, and reverse it, take photographs. And I'm just left sitting in the car like, is this my life? Like, if we have
This is-
children, or
this is me now.
where are they going to go? There's nowhere for them to go. Like, that was not his priority.
I know.
No, it was just, yeah, it was like, yeah, you're too
Yeah.
up your own fucking ass. You know?
That's usually the case with it. Guys are weird as fuck.
It was actually the same fella who one day at work hurt his knee.
Right.
So I was like, oh,
That's how you
I'll-
paid for the Ferrari, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, claim here. Thanks. That pays off 1 month's fucking. But he hurt his knee, so I put together like a wee care package thing. Out all his favorite sweets and crisps and shit, and I went over to his
Was
house.
this how you fixed them, or like?
You know, bring my wee first aid kit. I'm coming. Where's my nurse's outfit? Yes, he hurt his knee. So landed over, and I texted him as I hear him outside. He's like, I'm not coming out, and I was like, I've got you a wee present, and he's like, I'm not coming out. And this one, I thought he was taking the piss.
Yeah.
And I sat for a fucking hour like a dick. And then I rang him and he wouldn't answer or nothing. And then eventually he answered like 45 minutes later, and I was like I'm outside. Like, I'm genuinely outside. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he thought I was taking the piss because we're only just texting. And he's like, I'm not coming out. I haven't got my hair done.
Oh my god.
Sorry. I'm your fucking girlfriend.
Not even that. Like, that's just in
I have
general.
come over to, like, you know, give you a wee care package, and I sent him a picture of and all. And
I'm not coming out.
I haven't got my hair done. But the best of it was, he was almost gone bald.
Right.
So it's not like, I was like, what fucking hair?
Just see when you get that
What
certain
hair?
stage, like, just shave it. No one gives a fuck. Like,
Yeah,
you know
so,
what I mean? Like,
He was the one with the Ferrari that just took pictures of his car. You know, high maintenance and money. Nah.
yeah, no, I can imagine them being like that.
Like jog on. Fuck off.
I know.
But are men the same with the women though?
About like money and stuff.
Not like high maintenance women, like.
Oh well, a guy only usually finds out he doesn't like a girl 6 months into it.
It's
So,
too late. She's
yeah.
up the duff. She's got you already.
It
Like.
usually is that's the case, but I get like most guys will like date a girl for like, you know, because a lot of guys just think with their dick a lot of the time. Sure, you know, they're like every like single time, like I've done it myself where I'm like, oh, I love this girl, and then like 2 weeks later I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't like you. You know, like, but that's just the way guys are just stupid like that. So guys
What's
don't
the
know.
weirdest thing that you've been put off with a girl, like?
There's some fucking one came out, you fucking know her. Turn around one time, she was all as in it, she was real smick, you know, like real chavvy. She turned around and like I just stopped talking to her after. She was all I was like in a car with this guy and he's being really forceful. I mean, I was like, that's awful, what the fuck? I was like, you know, she was like, yeah, he was like grabbing the back of my head and pulling it down. And I was like, oh fuck, that's kneecapping territory. She goes, yes, so I went into a Chinese, got a big dirty curry chip and sucked his dick with it. And I went, what the fuck? And I went, yeah, never mind, I'm done with it. I'm fucking, you want bad, like that's how low men standards are, where I was like, that's my line. I was like, you know, I was like, that's where the ick starts with me. Yeah, but I don't know, it's a fucking weird thing, like that and
like I actually was just speechless, and it's
yeah,
not
that's I hate saying that because I hate that fucking, like, even the thought of it's disgusting. But yeah, in general, just but
so that like, you're like, yeah, bye.
Yeah, like after that I was like, see you later.
Yeah.
But I think there's been like weirder stuff's like turned me off people.
Yeah.
What's been the weirdest things turned you off someone? You've definitely got something like.
I don't like loud girls.
Yeah.
I like want attention.
Yeah,
That really turns me off.
I get what you don't like the, you know, like the girl in the bar who's like kissing her friend and all, and like, you know, like on the table, like
Drunk.
you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Guess
Like,
is the friend a male or a female now?
like
so.
the girl who's up on the table like acting slutty kind of thing,
and
you
like
know?
drunk, but she's not drunk.
Yeah,
and,
like that, yeah,
just
like
be
they
don't like
messy.
that.
Yeah.
I like that
And-
shy girl in the corner.
Yeah.
I love that.
Chico likes the one that's making fun of her in the back. That's what. But I think
My precious. It's okay.
Chico one time. I'm sorry about this one. Chico one time.
He's gonna edit this out.
I added it, but it was a girl in Chico's house, and he refused her a glass of water. It was,
He didn't like
a
her.
fucking human right. Chico went, she went, can I get a glass of water? And Chico went, no.
Why?
It
I
was,
hope there's a good excuse for
and
that.
it was like during the sexy time. So,
Oh, so she wasn't just in your house. You were in her.
she's like, can I get
I
a
thought it
glass?
was just a visitor, like you're having like people over, but no, it was like,
I'm so sorry, that needed to come out to make me sound less bad for that last thing. Chico went, no.
what? Why? Because you're like, I'm too busy here. I fucking, you know.
Years ago,
like,
a girl.
paint the scene for us, Chico.
It's got it on video.
CCTV camera.
There was one time this girl who used to date Chico. It was years ago. We were like 16, 17 at the time, and she was also best friends with my girlfriend at the time, and not my current girlfriend, it was my ex, and she tried texting me. And she was like, but Chico wasn't dating her at the time. It was like Chico's ex. It was fucking, we're all over the place.
Right,
With
okay.
a chessboard.
Yeah.
And like she's tried texting me. She was like, oh yeah, I kind of want to meet up and all, blah blah blah. And I was like, right, okay. And I went straight to Chico. I was like, bro, fucking look at this. And we like planned this whole thing out. I had all like her friends in my house upstairs. It was literally when I had just moved in here as well. But we had like, they were all in my sister's room, and I like brought her in, and even my ex and all was up in the room, who was her best friend at the time.
And were you still with this girl?
Yeah.
What the fuck? She was friends with her?
Yeah. It was so like,
What
so
is
we.
it? Girls are such. Oh.
I know exactly.
And this is why we don't support one another. It's a full circle.
Fucking, exactly, these are all false. But I brought her upstairs, and we like sat in the bed, and my face, you know when you can't keep a straight face, you're going. And Chico was in the wardrobe, and Chico
Hiding
came,
in the closet.
Chico came walking out like fucking Chris Hansen to catch a predator. Like,
What are you doing here?
he came out and he was like videoing her and all, and she was like that, and I had to leave. I was like in tears laughing because I was like, I'm not a good actor. Like, I was like sitting there going, and
I
like,
love it.
and everyone bombed in and all, like her friend, my ex, was like sitting. I could just hear them in like arguing, and me and Liam were next door making beats on the laptop. I was like, we were
We
just
just get on with it.
this is wild. Like, just sitting on my sister's bed, just, yep, this is crazy, isn't it? Yous are all in there shouting and all. I was like,
What was wrong
this-
with us? Like,
my ma was in on it and all. It was wild. My ma got it like.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah.
Couldn't write this shit.
I know, but that's probably a big ick, you know.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
if my girlfriend breaks up with me, I'm never getting a girlfriend after that. Like, so.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, that's what's when the weirdest things turned you off a guy? Then we'll probably finish it up on that. So we'll have one more question after that. So
What's the weirdest? There's so many.
so many.
So fucking many. One time I went on a date with a fella and he had long fingernails.
No, fair enough.
I was
Here,
like,
I got
"Bye."
fucking last week. I was like gigging flat out, so I forgot to clip my fingernails. They're clipped now, so fuck everyone. And they were
Of a
like,
certain length.
like they were just like a wee bit longer than they usually are.
Yeah.
My girlfriend was all, fucking cut those now. Those are disgusting. And I looked at them and I was like, they're not even that bad. Like,
So this is a thing, like.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
raging, but yeah, no, that's so. Would you like fully like cut a guy off because it cut his fingernails off? But no,
Oh yeah, no, I didn't meet up with him after. I was like, no thanks. So then there's the time
Wolverine.
I was dating this fella and he collected me to go ice skating in Dundonald,
right.
and he came from Dundalk to Omagh to Dundonald. It was class. Anyway, he loved me. So got into the car and I didn't really I was chatting to him, but I don't really pay attention
Yeah.
to. I don't know. I'm weird. But we're almost at Dundonald and we were coming past. There's people walking and I was like, there was a fella wearing like cream chinos.
Right.
I had to like quickly check there. You like chinos, you know, like, but they were like tight.
Oh, so Cheek
What do you
was
call
wearing.
them?
Cheek was wearing the closest
Maybe
thing
I'm
to.
not. Maybe I'm not. Like they're the skinny jean kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
call them?
I don't know. I have more skinny jeans since
Boys should not wear
2015.
them. Men should not wear them. Sorry, or boys. But I said, I was like, oh, look at your man. Look at the shape of him and all this, and looks like he's not wearing any trousers. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Landed in Dundonald. Your fella got out and I got out.
He was wearing
He was
them.
wearing the exact same jeans, and I was like, oh, just swallow me right now. Swallow me up whole and take me out of here.
That's absolutely brilliant. I couldn't
A,
even
because he was
imagine.
fucking wearing them,
Yeah.
and B, because I had just slacked them off.
I had a double
and sit
down.
there.
I had a double down. I'd have just been like, they're ugly as shit. Take them off. Take them off. But the same thing sort
Drive
of
me
happened.
home and take them off in my bedroom. Thank you.
The first night I actually got speaking to my current girlfriend. Like the first night where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try. We were walking back through Belfast to like our friend's apartment, and we walked past a car and it was a Fiat 500, and I went, I fuck it, just making conversation. No, comedians, you just word vomit sometimes. You just say things.
Yeah.
You don't mean it, but you just
Yes.
say it. I went, I fucking hate Fiat 500s, like rich white girl car. And she turns around and goes, I drive a Fiat 500, and I was like. It's like these flats are nice. Like
many
I should have
jokers
tied
I
my
did that?
shoes tighter, shouldn't I? Or like,
There's so many times where that's every fucking time I could call it. I'm the worst fucker for that.
yeah.
I'll just like, I think the worst one. Am I allowed to tell this? Fucking, I'm telling it. I'm in it. I'm in it. I
Take
was
it
doing
easy.
this course in Derry. It was like a media course or whatever.
Right.
And me and my friend used to always make Jew jokes.
Right.
Well, he did. He made them and I just laughed at them. And we're telling the jokes forever. And what was it? Your man taking the course, he was like, you know, it was 3 days in and him sitting and listening to these Jew jokes this past 3 days. So he had enough. He was like, you know, that's enough. My sister's a Jew. Right? And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, how's she a Jew but you're not? And I couldn't, in my head, I just couldn't figure out how one was the other.
Yeah.
Like, your sister and brother. So I was like, aye, but she's not a real Jew because you're not. And he was like, no, was she married a Jew and she changed? And I was like, so she's not the real Jew then? She hasn't got the nose.
Jesus.
And I just kept digging and digging because I'm trying to get out of it, but I'm making it worse. But that's the type of person I am. Whenever I try to get out of something, I'll just pick up the shovel and be like, right, where do I dig? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just cannot make it right. So yeah, there's so many. Even today, I pissed off the worker man in my house.
Yeah.
I said to him, he brought me in to show me how far he's gone on. I was like, yeah, slowly but surely, isn't it? And he was just like, and then
Hardest.
and then I said, what else did I say? I was like, oh, so much dust. Like, I can't wait till this is over. But I didn't mean it like hurry up.
You're
and
like, you're shit and you're ugly too. Like,
but he actually left my house and didn't even like say goodbye or nothing.
Oh,
and I was
really?
just like,
Oh, yeah.
shit. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna, I don't know, give him biscuits or something tomorrow. But it was like just
McVitie's.
like, I don't mean to come across as a cunt, but I am.
Sometimes the word vomit just fucking leaves. I always do it whenever I've got like nervous energy around bigger comedians.
Yeah.
Like first time I met Shane Todd, he got my name wrong. Fucking, I was like, I like shook his hand and he went, what's your name? And I went, Justin. He goes, how long you doing the night then, Jason? And I goes, my name's fucking Justin. I was like, get it right, Shane. And he was like, and he turned
Get it
around,
right, Sean.
he turned around to like Jordan or something, or like William, and he turned around and he was like, I was just trying to be nice. And I was like, oh fuck, I've came across as such a dick there.
Yeah.
And then same thing, every time I'm talking to William for some reason, I always end up doubling down on the most horrific shit. I was talking about lesbians one day to him, and I was like, you never just see lesbians, don't you not? And he was like, what do you mean? And like, I just doubled down on it. I was like, I'm making no sense, but fuck it, we're going with this. We're just rolling with this. And I was like lesbians just aren't about and all, like, you just never see them. Like, and he was like, you're fucking stupid, man. I was like, I know, but like, I don't know.
I know, but just make me stop talking.
I swear to God, I get this weird like nervous energy word vomit where I just, and then I double down on it every time. Did it with Johnny Bow the other week. I was like, you ever just wank on the t-shirt? I've never done that. I was like, why am I saying this? I was like,
but I do that whenever I'm in situations such as like I actually just all the stuff I'm talking about is stuff I've talked about in my podcast. It's just like we just talk about it all the time. But
I'll have said it at the start as well, so don't worry. I don't think I'm not like, you know, I'm just fobbing it off. I'll have said the name of the podcast.
Oh no, it's grand. But it's just funny that I keep bringing up things that I've recently just talked about. It's like, cause I think it's just because it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
But I do that the likes of if I get pulled over by police.
Right.
They're like, oh, do you know what speed you're doing? Yeah, 120. It's like, no, you weren't. You were doing 80, but it's still over the limit. I'm like, oh yeah, but I was doing 120 and I've had 3 drinks. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll just, and it's like, I don't even drink. I don't even fucking drink.
You're like, don't even check the boot, mate. Fuck's sake.
My balaclava's in there. But no, the TV license woman landed at my house one time.
Right.
And I literally just moved in. And she came in and she's like, oh, how long are you living here? I was like, oh, about 3 months. No, I wasn't. Just in there about a week or two. And she goes, oh, do you watch much TV? Don't watch TV. But I was like, yeah. And she goes, what would you watch? I'm like, oh, you know,
ITV.
I couldn't even think of anything because I don't watch TV. So I was like, oh, like music channels? No, I don't. I would never watch music channels. And she was like, okay, we'll get you signed up for a TV license. I was like, yeah, grand. And I just went with it, filled out the form, signed everything, grand. About a week later, I got a fucking fine in the post.
Really?
For watching TV for 3 months. And I'm like, I haven't even lived here for 3 months. I don't watch TV. And of course I don't fucking watch music channels. But I was just like, yes, I do. Yes. And it's like, why do I do that
Such
to myself?
a scam, that TV license thing. Like.
Yeah, well, I don't pay it anymore. And my mother, I've actually told her, because she doesn't watch it. She just watches fucking YouTube. Or not fucking YouTube.
Netflix, yeah.
Netflix. Like, she's got Netflix. I've got her signed up Netflix, Prime, ITV, all that crack. Not ITV. Not ITV. There's another one. I don't know, all them shit you have to pay for.
Exactly.
And she's still paying her TV license. So I was like, ma, like,
fuck off. No.
You don't have to let them in the house or nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I do. Like, even there has been times where police have pulled me over. And they'd be like, you know, like, I know there's something wrong with the car, but they're pulling me over for something else. Yeah. So, like, do you know why we pulled you over? And I was like, yeah, I've got 2 bald tires and I've already got pulled over. And they're like,
you ever watch Liar?
Like, we couldn't see your tires from where we're sitting. And I was like, yeah, you pulled me over yesterday. And I was like, right, you're still out in the road. And I was like, for fuck's sake.
Did you ever watch Liar with Jim Carrey?
Yes.
That scene when he gets pulled over and he was like, I was speeding too fast and my tires are like,
that's me.
My right brake light is out. And like,
but the best of it is, I'm a really good liar when it comes to my ma.
Oh,
like,
really?
I was always the one, my sister and my brother, they couldn't fucking lie, but they'd be like, Claire, make up a lie for me, so I just come up with something.
Your ma still doesn't know the child exists.
She doesn't even know. She's like, she still thinks my child is adopted. But whenever it comes to the likes of like I said, I'm like, oh fuck, make up shit. You just make up shit to like,
exactly.
Why do you do that?
That's why. Yeah, remember one time we were shooting a music video ages ago, like 2015, 16, and we were using balaclavas and like baseball bats and like fake guns and all in the music video, and we had to put at the start of the video, all these are props and all, like, so we didn't get fucking arrested. We were pulled up in this place that was like a very known spot for drug deals in Lurgan. And as soon as we pulled up, 2 cars just with bats and all sitting on the floor and masks and all this other stuff, a cop car just pulled up and like just came over and started talking to us, and we were like, shooting videos and all, we look like we're about to do a kneecap, and like, you know, we look like we're about to hit the most devious punishment baiting ever, and like we were just sitting there just with it all on our laps, like, yep, that me, yes, officer. And it was so weird, he just let us go. He didn't say anything. He was like looking in the back, he was like, no worries kid, take it easy. Head on there.
I remember I was filming like a web series or whatever down in Belfast, and it was in the warehouses. Do you know as you come into Belfast, there's like a big William of Orange thing on the wall there?
Oh, beside train station, Sandy Row, yeah.
So there's like warehouses, and once you pass that William person, once you go in there, there's all warehouses. I don't know, what do you call that place?
Fuck, I know where you're talking about, but I can't mind it.
Well, we were filming in there, and I started off in art department, so I spent, there's another story, but more since the one story. My job was to dress the scene, so it was a drug deal. Right. So I had this table. I wrapped up flour in cling film. So it looked like blocks of cocaine or something. I raided my mother's medicine tablet, my sister's, my auntie's, my own, just all the tablets that weren't being used, and got all these wee bags and done. I was fucking class.
And you doing that in Sandy Row as well? Like fucking.
I was up at Omagh, but like Sandy Row's actually. But I'd done it all at home and I had it all set up, and then my fucking electric cut.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, oh, fuck. So, of course, I'm going to ring the landlord.
Yeah.
I'm like, here, my electric's cut. So he comes over into the kitchen because the electric board was under the stairs in the kitchen. So he comes in and he looks over and he can see the table full of shit.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I've been doing this for the past week. I never even thought. So he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, shit. No, it's fucking for a film. And he had the electric man with.
You're like, no, it's not even real cool.
Oh, it was like fucking hell. But it was, his whole face was just like, what the fuck? Because I was only there a few months, so he didn't really know me that well.
Yeah.
But me trying to explain it to him, and then I was showing him the script, and I was like, here, look, you know, he was just like, Claire's grand. I was like, no, but I don't want you thinking like I'm not this person at all. Like, I don't touch that shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, following day, went down to Belfast, set the whole place up, and had teddy bears. I cut all my teddy bears and stuffed it all in.
Jesus.
Fucking class looking. I was really, really proud.
Yeah.
But we needed a gun. One of the lads needed a gun. So I had to go collect the gun off this fireman on the other side of Belfast. So I left, went over, got the prop gun. As I was coming back to the warehouse, it was surrounded by a SWAT team.
Fucking hell.
And I was like, oh fuck, someone's seen me taking the shit in from my car and putting it into the warehouse. I shit myself.
Yeah.
I drove around, I had to get out. I was like, drove around. I didn't even know where I was in Belfast. I was like trying to phone the director, trying to phone the producer. Nobody was answering their phones. I was like,
Jesus.
everyone was arrested. Everyone was in there, they were arrested. Fuck my fingerprints. And I was, all this was going through my head.
Yeah.
Finally went back. Someone got me on the phone. We're like, where are you? And I was like, the SWAT team. I'm like, are you okay? And they're like, Claire, that's the actors. Oh my god.
No.
It was the actors, and they were like rehearsing a scene or whatever they were doing, so all their phones were on silent, of course.
Yeah.
But it was the genuine gear. They got the genuine uniform off somebody.
Holy fuck.
So to me, coming into that, oh, my whole fucking life was just flashing before my eyes. But it was fucking brilliant. It's a brilliant story. Like,
yeah, that's class. Like,
the joys of filmmaking. Like,
fucking hell. I know we're trying to get into sketches and stuff, but we're so busy all the time. It's fucking hard to get into it. But
that's what I'm trying to get into sketches now as well. But
yeah,
it's just trying to find the right people. Like,
yeah, that's we're good at that sort of stuff. Like, we're good at, like, Chico's unreal at like videoing and editing and all. And I have a very director, I have a very director mindset. Like, I've always wanted to do stuff like that. Like, at some point I want to get into like very heavily directing stuff, you know. But like, it's a weird thing to try and get into. It's writing it at the minute is the issue for me. Like, trying to write anything is just fucking, you know, like, even writing a set, I have to write on stage now because of like how, like, I'm just like, I didn't have time to write this joke, so I'm gonna.
I don't write anything.
Do you not know?
No.
You just do it all like.
A lot of my punchlines come to me on set.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Even there, one night I was doing the boiler room up in Strabane, and James McKegan and myself were in like the wee back room. Yeah. And I was pacing up and down. I was like, I'm about to go on set. I'm still in the film world. Stage. And I was like, I have no punchline. Yeah. And then I was like trying to think, and I was like, fuck it, it'll come to me. And he was like, really serious. And I was like, yeah, it'll come to me. Yeah. And it fucking came to me, and it was the best fucking punchline, and the whole room erupted. And I was like, but there's so many times that has happened.
Yeah, right. But also, stage seems to be easier sometimes.
Yeah, like a lot of times, like I mix up my words a lot.
Yeah.
Like I talk too fast that my brains are like, wow, what the fuck. So I come out with funnier words. Yeah. And then people are like, keep that. So I try to keep it. Like I tried to do it in the green room there the other night, where I said he ejaculated himself. Oh yeah. But he ejected himself. But I accidentally one night came out with ejaculated, and the whole room erupted, and the people are like, keep that. So I tried to keep it in the green room, but I don't know. I done it too. Like, I was aware that I was saying it, so I was like, he ejaculated. I'm like, am I saying the right word? And then I was like, am I saying the right word? And then that actually did make people laugh, because I was like, I am saying the right word, but they think I mean ejected, you know, that kind of way. Exactly. But it wasn't as natural as it was the first night.
I know, it's always the way of it.
But every single set it's the same story, but it's always different, because I'm coming up with.
That's why I've started videoing every set I do now.
I do that, yeah.
It's like every time now that like I say stuff and I'm like, fuck, what was that I said? That was funny, and then I'm like, I can't remember, and then I did a joke about my girlfriend being culty, and I forgot about the joke for like fucking like 6 months. I called her Dramona Lisa. And I was like, that was I made that up on stage, and I was like, that was fucking hilarious. And I forgot about it just until like Mike Carlisle came up to me and goes, do you ever do that Dramona Lisa joke anymore? And I went, fuck, I'm brilliant, right? I was like, that's a good one. Who said that? Like, you know, a lot of them come off this as well. Like, a lot of like time when I'm just ranting on this, I'll come up with like bits. Adam Byrne came up with a bit on it about his dad doing being a vegan and like hating KFC and all. And it's a good bit.
But I think that also helps, like, being around comedians a lot.
Oh yeah.
And you're talking just everyday life,
especially
and
the drives, the places.
But even like talent shows, like, oh, that's funny, you should keep that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, you know, can I have that if you're not using it? Or, you know, like, that's not what your set is. Like, even there with Darren Matthews was up doing the podcast with me, and so many bits we got out of it.
Yeah.
But I've lost it all because it wasn't recording. But then we were texting, and he said something, and he's like, "Here, you can have it." And I was like, "Why do you not want it?" And he goes, "Yeah, but that's your material.
Yeah.
Like that's surrounded your material." And I was like, "All right, sweet." But that's what it is. He was like, "This is what we do," you know.
Because
But
Darren MCs a lot as well. I suppose
Yeah.
he doesn't really use a lot of material that when he's MCing, he just sort of talks to the crowd and
yeah,
like just goes off that and does a lot of callbacks and
bounces
stuff.
off it.
Yeah, he's great at that. I'm doing the Sunflower this week and I'm buzzing for it because I've died my whole like 3 or 4 gigs in a row now. Not died, but I've just
Yeah.
not had like belters, and I'm like fucking. Oh, I'd love like a good gig, and then I forgot that I'm doing Sunflower, and I'm like, that's always such a good night. You know.
Have you done Sunflower before?
I've done it twice before, yeah.
Oh, then, yeah, you
So
know it.
and every time I love it. The first time I did it was the paid one, and then the other time was the open mic, and this time's the open mic one. So I'm like, Darren's just fobbed me off. he's like, who on here can I not pay? You know, and I'm like, thank you, Darren. We're joking. I think he knows I'd slag him for that. But yeah, no. So I'm gonna wrap up in this last question, and then we shall get out of here because I need to edit the other one as well. What's a fear you have that others might think is weird? I know mine straight away.
Tell me yours first while it gives me time to think. So I'm gonna.
The bath.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't sit in a bath.
Okay, no, because mine's is like I thought. Okay.
If I found another bath phobia person here, like this, we're gonna start like an AA group.
Oh my god. No. Mine's isn't that, but like.
You're gonna get jackets made on it. Fear the tub.
I remember years ago watching Home and Away. Home and Away, is that Australian or New Zealand thing or?
Yeah.
Where good neighbours maybe it was Neighbours. Is that 2 different things?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, shit, okay. But they're both like in Australia.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
One of them anyway, there was a wee boy went to the bath and he stuck his toe up into the tap and
he
got
gets
stuck.
his toe stuck. Yeah, fuck. Yeah.
That for my entire childhood and teenage life, I was scared. Even now, I'm like, do it. But no, that was a fear when I was younger, but I forgot about it until you mentioned the bath. But my biggest fear, I think my biggest fear is actually quite common.
Spiders.
No, I don't mind spiders.
Really?
I'm the type of person I'll catch them and be like, oh, you know, in your face.
You want to people like throw them at you, know?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
She goes like that. Every time
throw them
she
out the
goes-
window just.
Every time he'll like pick up a spider, I like run for my life. And I like hide behind the door and I'm like holding it with my fucking all my might. I'm like, if you fucking open that door, I'm never talking to you again.
But like, what's it gonna do to you? Like, do you
I don't know. I'm just weird about stuff. I'm weird about spiders, snakes, and the bath.
In the
That's
bath.
it. Literally, do you know what made me
Spiders
weird?
come in the bath.
It was an episode of Ed, and Natty when I was younger, and they unplugged the plug, and all 3 of them got sucked into
Oh,
the
yes,
drain.
yes.
And I was like, fuck that, that's gonna happen me. Like, it's like I don't weigh 105 kg. You know? Like, I get
Okay,
sucked
no,
into-
I've actually come up with my. What's the question again, just to make sure?
What's a weird fear that you think people might think weird of you?
If
fucking
I
butchered
become one of them Mas that have a people carrier and stand outside the school gate with a coffee cup and one of them long coats.
Oh, so like just like a Karen then, yeah.
I hate that. Like they're
Yeah.
all the fucking same. They're all driving their people carriers and they've got like one child.
Yeah, like
I don't want to become. If you
You
ever
want your
see
Ferrari?
me, where's the children go? Fuck them. Put them in the trailer. Yeah, that's a weird one. Is it that a weird one?
That's it's not an irrational one. That's more just like, you know, you're
Fear of becoming one of them mothers.
Yeah, no, I get that because I have a fear of becoming one of them dads that just like, you know, one of them fucking ones that just are obsessed with their kid. Like not obsessed. That
Like
sounds
showing you
bad.
photographs all the time.
But like, you know, the ones that's like, I like, you know, they were in the bath earlier, and I'm like, oh fuck, you know. But like the ones who like show you, like literally show you photos and not fuck up about it, and you're like,
yeah.
I'm in my 20s, you know. I don't get it, you know. I'm whenever I am a dad, God forbid, it'll probably be a fucking like. I probably will turn into one of them and goes,
Yeah.
I see she fell out of swing, you know, like.
Or
But,
posting in fucking social media all the
yeah,
time.
I don't do
Your
that.
entire fucking life.
I don't do the people who post a photo of their child naked. Fuck up. I hate you.
Oh.
I swear. Have you done that shit?
No,
I was gonna say.
no, but it's like, do people do that?
I was like, yeah, like
Oh,
fishing
yeah.
for pedos, like, you know.
Oh, stop. No, I think like I grew up. Yeah, I've got friends and I've got children.
Yeah.
And then I've got my own, and I was never. I like to think I wasn't that like, oh look how cute she is, look how cute she
I
is.
get it when they're first born and you're like trying to
Well,
show.
when you're first born, you show them. Like,
whenever
here
you're
she
like,
is, you know.
it's like she's
Not
8 years
fucking-
old and you're like, fuck up, I get it. Like, you know, like.
Like we know you've got a fucking child, but no, there was a lot of people around me at the time. Like I was working at McDonald's and stuff, so all they're all getting pregnant.
Yeah.
And I was just constant fucking like, oh look at photographs photographs. Like, fuck off, I don't wanna. Like, I don't want to look at your photographs.
Again,
I don't want to look at your
don't mind it if
I'm
it's
such a
like,
selfish bitch, like.
again, I also like I don't mind it if it's like, you know, it's a brand new child and everyone's like, you know, it's
Brand
got
new child. Yeah, I just got it out of the showroom there.
they've got it on HP. You know, like, so,
Custom made there, you know.
I'm renting this one.
It's not ginger. No, I'm only joking. I love gingers. I'm not coming on to you by the way. Like, I'm not. Like, this is not just for the record. Yeah, I'm not coming on to you.
I think gingers are a very niche market that
I've
people haven't tapped
always
into.
loved gingers.
Like I was about to get weird there. Yeah, no, ginger people are underrated. I think because people are afraid to have ginger kids.
No,
they don't go for, like, ginger guys are classic. I swear,
whenever
I'm not just
my
saying for
Cully was
myself.
born, she had a tinge of ginger,
Yeah.
and I was so excited. I was like,
Oh, were
oh
you?
my god, I don't know how I got
That's
the
a
ginger
first.
way, like, because her daddy would be quite fair,
Right.
and then I have got ginger jeans. Ginger pants on now, but no, ginger jeans in my family. So I was like, oh, maybe she somehow this clashed, and I was like so excited, but then she ended up being blonde, so I was like, it's grand, but it was
You're
that,
alright
like,
then.
for
I'll
them,
not be showing any photos of you then.
I was like, she used to be ginger, look at my photographs. But there was that slight
Yeah.
moment where she was gonna be fucking ginger.
Yeah,
But,
I
I
think
got
it's
so
always like
excited
it's
about
like
it.
kids turn ginger, or they'll be like ginger when they're born and turn blonde, and then blonde will turn ginger.
Yeah.
I was blonde as hell when I was a baby.
Oh
like,
really?
Yeah.
Because then I have cousins that were blonde, but then they turned like black hair almost. They went
Yeah.
the other way. Like
That's
my wee
wild.
Cully's more like brown now.
Oh yeah.
I'll show you a picture of her. I was joking.
Again, I don't mind if it's like the first time, but when it's like someone,
She's 13 now. It'll be a bit weird showing fucking photographs of a 13-year-old. Like.
you know, I know, like it's different. Like it's because I've never like seen your kid or whatever. It's different whenever they're like, you know, you work with someone for 4 years and they turn around and they're like, oh, that's him there just eating soup, and you're like,
Yeah.
I could give a fuck. I was like, I
Give a
didn't
fuck?
like. I was like, I like the child when it was a newborn. I don't care now that it's able to say racial slurs. You know, like it's, I don't know. I think it's just more of a repetitive thing. I don't like the repetitiveness of it.
My
Where-
biggest thing was whenever she was at primary school and you'd have to like stand around the gate. You didn't
Yeah.
have to, but like I don't know, people just did. All the mummies did. And I fucking hated it because all they did was like, oh, look at them. Oh, are they I was just like, I don't even like, how are they getting on and how are you getting on and how was yesterday after school? Did they do their homework? Oh, look at them, so cute together. Oh, look at her wee school bag. Oh, she was so good today. Like, fuck
I
off.
hate all the fakeness.
Just
of it,
that, like, petty, or not petty, it's that small talk.
Yeah.
And it's just all revolved around their family, and it's just like, I don't give
I
one.
know. Who is it?
Flying
There's someone has a
fuck.
joke about it where they're like,
It's not wild bad.
No.
I think it's Dave Elliott. To be fair, I don't blame you because I'm in the same boat. But I think Dave
Wait,
Elliott
do you have
has
children?
no fucking probably.
Not that I know of.
There's probably some wee ginger fella running about Pour Down, just saying up the raw. But yeah, no, he's only 6 months. Yeah,
He's able to sing the entire symphony. That's it.
he's up there, come out you black and tans. He
But
literally
no,
can't even walk it.
That would be my biggest fears. Is
Yeah.
that?
I know, but yeah, I think we might wrap it up there because we're hitting an hour 40 here. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I know. It was this one and the one I did with Oisin McKellen. You never met Oisin?
Oh yeah, I've had him a few times in the
class
green
lad.
room.
Yeah, these two are the longest so far. But been good episodes recently. You know, it
Yeah.
started off a bit slow with people, but now it's like every episode's been like actual people talking. So that's
Actual
class.
people,
Actual
Yeah.
people.
not just Danny DeFito there. You know.
I know exactly. But yeah, so thank you for coming on. You've been an absolutely wonderful guest.
Well,
And,
thank you for having me.
We'll have to get you back on again soon. I'll probably get you back on if I do this thing where I get you on and then I'll get you back on with someone else the next time.
Oh.
So you know,
Do like a recap, more questions, be like, what did she mean? Being
Oh, yeah.
becoming a fucking mummy?
they'll be like, yeah, she was making jokes
I'm
about
offended.
she was making jokes about Jewish people at that point, and I was like,
She wasn't. She said.
I'm like, listen, you came to the right podcast.
It's like, I sell TV license. How dare she?
Yeah, I think that's going in. It's going in the clip whenever the Patreons started in 2026. Where the first thing I'm posting is a big like montage of everyone just being racist on this podcast, or like anti-Semitic or homophobic.
But we're not racist. We're Irish, okay?
Exactly.
From the yard, isn't it?
No, we're the most oppressed people on this island.
Right.
That's a wild statement to say.
But especially you, because you're ginger.
Exactly.
Ensign.
I'm a third-class citizen. I swear.
And I'm female, so I can also jump on his boat.
Exactly. I know.
We can share a boat.
We're all minorities here. Chico's the least minority here, and he's
You
Portuguese.
You actually are minority. Oh yeah. Yeah, because I was going to say he is, but you're saying he's the least.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's
I
more,
was gonna say
there's
you
more
can jump on our
Portuguese in
boat
this
too.
country now than ever. Like so.
He's
Yeah.
actually Portuguese.
Yeah, that's what he lived here since you were 8, was
But
it?
like,
Or?
it's Portuguese people. This is not racist. Fuck.
He's all have massive.
Does Portuguese people not have like Korean eyes?
No.
What's Portuguese again? I'm so
Latin.
I don't know. People.
Above Spain.
Oh,
Latin.
right. So
Yeah.
like Spanish almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically they're
Right,
like
yeah, 'cause
Spanish.
you do
Brazilian.
have like dark features, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of Irish people are like dark features now.
Yeah.
So you
We're,
just blend
we're
in.
mixing the
Blend it,
mixing the
yeah.
genes. You know what I mean?
Oh, well,
mix
like
the
is one of your
genes.
parents Irish?
No.
No. But
So
Chico,
why the fuck are
Chico
you here?
will
I'm only joking.
Chico will 100% have a half Irish child. You love
Oh,
the Irish
yeah.
girls, like. You ever
Do you
had
like
it
the
for?
ginger
Oh yeah. What?
Do you like the ginger Irish, like proper real
I
Irish?
like ginger girls.
I
Yeah.
love ginger. Like,
You
they
tell me
just got
that.
wild up.
Fucking.
Oh, well, I fucking hit you. Like.
I like anything.
Yeah. Anyway, on that bombshell,
Oh,
yeah, we shall wrap it up. So, thank you for listening, anyone, and thank you for coming on. That was fuck anything you want to plug first. Fuck, I'm so stupid at that. Any gigs you've coming up or anything,
I've
or
loads of gigs. Do you want me to just rhyme them off?
anything you coming up? You know, anything you've got like close coming up, or you want to like, because this will be out.
Well, we'll just
Hopefully
haven't prepared
Friday.
this earlier. No, I've got a wee list here. I've actually started because there's that many, and I have such a bad memory.
No, I'll probably edit this on like Friday when I'm drunk. So
When you're drunk,
yeah, this is what
you're
I
going
do.
to keep all the.
Oh yeah, everything. Nothing's
Yeah,
being
it's
cut
grand.
out.
I don't really care. Like, do your worst. Like, do you know what I mean? So tomorrow, but when's this going out though? So
Friday, so anything after Friday.
So Friday. What day is tomorrow?
If you want to say whatever you're doing, just a flex
Wednesday.
anyway.
So tomorrow there's actually a new comedy club in Letterkenny.
Oh, yeah, Donnie Kelly was talking about that. Is
No,
that the
it's-
open mic one, or
No, there's another one.
there's another one in Letterkenny?
Letterkenny Laughs. Terry Hood is starting it.
Is that him? I'm gigging
Yeah.
with him on Sunday. What the fuck, Terry? I need to add him on Facebook.
That's probably why. So he's starting that tomorrow. I'm on the lineup for that,
Yeah.
and then the following day I'm in Maherfeld, the Terrace
Oh,
Laughs.
are you? Yeah, class.
So
I'm
that's
still trying to get that Finton.
Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, I think he's like flat out. And then on Halloween, I'm actually in the Pav.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Yeah.
doing the Halloween, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what
Yeah.
that's going to be like
I
on
think
Halloween, like, but I think it'll
Kieran's
be an
doing
older
that
crowd.
one as well. Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
definitely be an older crowd.
And like Luke was like, I think you'll go down well with the older crowd. And I was like, yeah, I know. By the end of the night,
We've just
we'll
done
be like,
25 minutes on this podcast about it, so.
like they'll be following me back to Omagh. And then the day after, holy shit! Oh my god, I forgot about this one. How did I forget about this one? I'm in the Empire.
Fuck. Yeah, I was going to say it was a Tuesday. I was like, what gigs are on a Tuesday? So, yeah.
I'm in
Class.
the Empire on the 1st of November. I am.
Oh, that
shitting it.
soon, yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
I know. I need to. I completely forgot, so I need to fucking start.
Yeah, I think you'll go down well at the Empire because again,
You
it
think
seems
so?
more like they're not like
They're not Belfast-ish.
yeah, they're not people they're people that are on a night out. They're not people
Yeah.
that are being like, "Where's Colin Gaddis?" Like they're,
Yeah.
it's people that are being like, "I'm just here to watch something funny,"
Yeah.
So I think you'll go down really well. So, because I know that like whenever. You go like Lavery's, they're all like, "Where's Shane?"
Never been to Lavery's.
Have you never
Can't get
actually-
on to Lavery's? So if anyone from Lavery's is watching this, I have messaged a few times.
I've been in the green room, and Colin Gaddis turned around to me and he was like,
I thought you meant in my green room,
Oh,
and I was
no,
like,
like-
what's that got to do with Lavery's?
in the Lavery's one, I just the night Kieran was performing, I was like, he was like, "Oh, Kieran's in there. Do you want to head in?" And I was like, "Yep." And I just walked in, and like McKegney and all was there, and he turned around and he was all just in his wee laptop, and he goes, "Many gigs are you on now?" And I was all like coming up on 40, and he turned around and he was all, "You still counting?" And I goes, "Fuck no, I'm not counting. No, I'm on 700. Please give me a gig in here." But yeah, so I think I fucked my opportunity with that.
I should start. I was going to say I should start counting mine. Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, no,
I've never
maybe
actually
don't.
counted. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're like doing the green room as well. Like at fucking what stage are you going to just be like, what the fuck am I on? Like,
Yeah.
I only like counted because like someone asked me, and I like counted them all up in my head. Like I
Yeah.
stopped counting after like 20 or 30.
There's actually. I remember being introduced a few times in
Yeah.
this comedy club. Like, oh, this is Claire Corrigan. She's got like 4. She's only done like 4 or 5 gigs.
Yeah,
And he done that a few times, and I was like, I've actually done more than that.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for quite a few years. So but
Yeah.
it's like you should mention that. Who
I know.
cares how many you've done? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
It's like it's only been in the last few months as well, last 2 or 3 months I've really like started getting loads of gigs as well.
Yeah.
So it was like
it's definitely a brilliant time to get into it.
Oh, yeah.
We're all kind of
yeah.
coming together. Like I know I
100%.
started January. Well, sorry, I started doing the course in January 2019, but then my actual first gig was March 2019.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
right,
then I started up the Green Room February 2020. I
Yeah.
got like 4 shows. Boom, COVID.
And you
but
did
then
the
I went-
newcomers night, you cheating fucker. Fuck. You did that
No,
newcomers
there's
night.
another. I do a few.
Really?
So I've done.
Because you had done a few gigs and then you did it with me and Kieran and all, who were literally just doing our first ever sets.
But that's what the Green Room is. But
Yeah. I know. Fucking.
but like next
Kieran
month there's
still
a
wanted to be
newcomer.
fucker.
There's 2 newcomers next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But then there's January. I'm going to do a new material night. So new material, new newcomers,
Yeah.
new newcomers.
Union covers.
No. We actually have a Portuguese night as well.
I'm going.
Chico says that like he can even speak Portuguese. I've heard you speak Portuguese twice and I've known you about 10 years. The only time you ever taught me Portuguese was to flirt with girls.
Well, can you actually speak Portuguese?
Yeah.
Obviously, if your parents are
Yeah.
Portuguese. Like,
Yeah.
were you born over there?
Yeah.
Right,
He
so
moved
this
here when
isn't
he
about
was
you. What a chicken. But no, I've got quite a few, but I just rhyme
Yeah.
them out then.
I'll put the photo up at the end as well, so just any of the ones you've got like coming up quick.
Choose
Rhyme them
that
out you want,
photograph
fuck it.
So, right, the PAV on Halloween, 1st of November, Empire, 15th of November is the Green Room again,
Class.
17th of November is the Crack Den in Dublin.
Oh shit, yeah.
I
It's
know.
bound to be brilliant. I tried to get on there, but they were like, need more experience decks, and I was like,
It's all
fuck
about
you.
who you know
I was
and
like,
how many...
I'm probably better than half the people down there. Fuck you.
Oh, no you did.
And then I get saucy whenever I get turned down. Like I do.
Oh, you're one of them.
I'm like, whenever I get turned down, I'm like, I'm better than you.
I didn't realise you can get turned down.
Oh yeah, no, I've been like a few of them. I've had a few Dear Johns. I've been
Oh,
like,
really?
I've had the few. We're looking for either more experienced acts or we're looking maybe come back to us in a few months. Like a lot of them were a few months
Also-
ago.
Yeah.
What?
2 seconds.
Oh, you changing the battery? That's alright. We're gonna wrap it up soon anyway here. So,
Don't you know, wrap it up.
but yeah,
You
no,
got to wrap it up.
I've been turned away from a few.
I
Being-
didn't know that you could get turned away.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. When you're not a box ticker, Claire. So,
Oh, right, okay.
yeah, like it's a weird experience. Whenever like Fenton, no, he didn't turn me away, but Fenton, he's been hectic recently, and he was like, it's probably going to be like February
Yeah,
before he
he's
even gets close to getting me near
Completely
anything.
booked up, like.
Where else? There was somewhere else. I got like, one of the Dublin ones as well. Turned me down, but offered me a different gig. I think it might have been Stitches. They offered me the Gong Show, but wouldn't put me on their actual lineup. And I was like,
We're back.
yeah, right, okay.
And
I was
we're
like,
back.
put me on the lineup. I'm good.
Yeah.
I promise. It's hard to sell yourself without sounding like a cunt. You know, it's hard to be like, oh, I'm good. I swear to God, I've done
Yeah.
these gigs. I've done 20-minute sets. I've done this, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And they're like, and then they're like, oh, so you're a cocky cunt then? You're
You
like,
see, like, I've actually... So this is a big thing for, I think, everyone.
Yeah.
For comedy, to get into this thing, you really have to... It's all about self-promotion.
yeah, exactly.
Which is something I struggled with for a long time. So it's
Yeah.
only been this past while where it's like, actually, I need to start telling people how class I am.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's what I realized. But then
So-
you can come across as like dickish.
Well, yeah,
you
but
know?
like I've got a generic email now where I email it out or send it out. So it's
Yeah.
like, look in a spot. I run my own.
Mm-hmm. No,
Maybe
that's
that
a
helps.
fucking. That's
I run my
every
own
time.
open mic night.
Yeah.
I name off some of the big ones, like I've performed in Sunflower, the Pav, blah blah. I'll name off a few,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also got a small role on Darn and Joe's free gaff for RTE.
Right. Oh
so
shit.
that I've also thrown that in.
Class.
So
yeah.
like I don't know, maybe all that works.
Yeah, your comedy CV is looking great at the
And then
minute. yeah.
I've put together like a wee clip of
Yeah.
like because I video everything,
Yeah.
but it's not for public consumption.
Mhm.
Like I'll just take wee snippets and I
Yeah.
edit it all together and I put it up my public. I put it up on my
For the bigger
social
laughs.
media.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and then I add it to the email. Be
Mm.
like, here's a snippet if you want. So yeah, that's why I haven't been turned down.
Yeah, I know. I think
So.
I'm still looked up like in the.
But it took a while to realise
Yeah,
that I have to actually bum myself up here.
exactly. Yeah,
So that's just something that like it's something that us Irish people struggle with.
yeah.
It's like, oh, look at your
We're
woman
very
driving the BMW,
self-deprecating.
dick, you know? And
Yeah.
who do they think they are?
We're,
so-
we're very like self-deprecating that way.
Exactly,
but
yeah.
Very
Whereas
satire.
if you went to like say if you went to like try and get my name and you would bum me up like, oh, she's funny, she does
Exactly,
this, she
yeah,
does this.
yeah.
Do it to yourself.
That's
And
what,
that's
like,
something I've had to learn.
I've started doing that more often. That's I tried to get that Coco's one, and I think they might
in
be
Cork?
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they
applied
might
for
be
it.
looking at that because the guy I had the email from it doesn't follow me or anything, but viewed a couple of my stories there, so I think he might have got the email.
Right, very good.
Yeah, so and I think the big thing for me at the minute that is getting me gigs is this podcast. I think
Yeah.
is the thing that people see it and they go, oh well, he's doing the clips. Like one of the clips has like 20,000 views or something now. So
Deadly. See,
yeah.
it's just
So-
always, it's like slutting yourself out.
it is.
It's like, that's exactly what it
Fixing
is.
the cleavage. I'm like,
But-
here, so, yeah.
You can borrow mine, I've got loads. But no, that's something that I've noticed this past few weeks where I've got all these gigs because I've literally been slutting myself out and just like it's the fucking
I bet you
want to
make it in this business.
No longer sucking
Touching legs
dicks.
and all.
Fuck's sake. But no, it's the constant being present on social media too.
Oh, yeah, 100%,
So I've
yeah.
actually got my own page and I've got it, you can time your posts, like you can set them up for
Oh,
a certain
yeah.
time to be, so I've got them all like 2 days apart, so it's not like every single day.
Oh yeah, mine's mad
So-
that way. Like I'll have like 5 stories up a day. They're just
Yeah.
really like sporadically. So
Yeah. But
I need to
it's
start doing that.
the being aware of like, oh, I have to post something today,
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
people don't forget about me, you know, or don't
Exactly,
like, oh fuck, she seems to be busy, she seems to be doing well, or
yeah.
you know, like that list I put it up, and then because I put that list up, whenever I first put that list up,
Yeah.
there wasn't as many, and then whenever I put it up, people were like, fuck, she's busy here, Claire. So I
Exactly,
was like,
yeah.
oh, fucking adding on, the list got bigger. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just will I continue with the list then, or
Fuck, yeah, go for it. Yeah, sorry. So tangent in this.
we keep getting fucking distracted. So the Crackdown in Dublin,
Class.
and then the 24th of November, I'm in the Ulster Uni in Belfast.
Oh, are you? Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you doing that? I did the first one. That one was good. Yeah, and you'll probably have a better time because they'll probably have a stage and better lighting because we
Okay.
did it in basically a bowling alley with no stage beside a pool table. So. Yeah, but I think they've like sorted all that out because Kieran's
Okay.
run that. So
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Kieran's like the best at that at the minute.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He knows the
best in
crack.
Belfast anyway, not in Omagh. Yeah.
27th of the November, I'm the Sunflower,
Class.
and then the 1st of December, I'm in Brickworks in Derry,
Fucking hell.
and the 13th of December, the Green Room, and
I
then the
start slutting myself out.
30th of December, I'm in McCooey's in Uri.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Class. Unreal.
So but then there's a few more that I could probably add in there. I just need to get back to people.
Yeah, you'll
So many
probably be
people
on the
email me back, but I
podcast
didn't-
again before that. So
Yeah,
depending on if you're enjoying it. But
I know this is like 3 hours now, like, isn't it?
an hour 56. So
Have fun editing this.
it's gonna take forever.
Don't even edit, just fucking put it out. Fuck it.
It's gonna be all out of sync and all. We're gonna look like one of them Chinese like films. Oh, wash that on.
Oh, those are the ones with. No, I can't do that.
Those are the ones with
With
The
the
weird
sallow
walk.
skin. Can't listen to the way you talk.
They've got hard accents. Hard accents, yeah. It's fucking hard to
Art.
listen to.
Art.
But yeah, no, fuck it. We'll wrap it up with that then. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
We'll have you back on soon. So fuck it.
Fuck it.